So why do you hate weddings?
Is this how we're going to kick it off?
Exactly. We're going to kick it off.
Ugh, where do I begin?
Living in a daydream. Ooh, such a sweet thing. Life on the big screen. It's such a beautiful scene, yeah.
You guys, welcome to the kitchen. We are so excited to have Landon, by the way, on the podcast.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Landon BTW.
I love just sitting here in this basement with you.
I have blackmailed Landon into this podcast for like 6 months. I did so many things to get him here.
Yeah, I kept pushing. Just kicked the ball down the road over and over and over. And then finally, I needed you guys for my coaching program. And then it was like, I was done.
Yeah.
If I ask you for a favor, I have to.
We've scratched our backs enough.
Yeah.
You have a great back.
Thank you. A lot of foreplay went into this. And
All right.
here we
Well,
are.
you guys, it's going to be a very unprofessional hour. No, we're excited to have you, man. Need no introduction. If you guys don't know, you live under a rock. Landon, almost a year ago exactly.
Actually, a year ago yesterday.
Okay, a year ago yesterday, acquired, purchased, got full-time filmmaker.
Yes.
The whole enterprise.
The whole shebang.
The
whole
Empire.
enterprise.
I did pick it apart because Parker was like, "Do you want to buy FTF gear too? Would you like to have some sort of
Do
part?"
you want
in-"
this $1 million of debt?
Pretty much. And I'm
Is
like,
FTF gear still a thing?
the inventory is probably still in his garage. So yes, in a way it is.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing. Like he was gonna add. He asked if I wanted to add that on,
Yeah.
and it was gonna add like, I don't know, $100K maybe to the purchase price,
Yeah.
and it was just all inventory. And I'm
Yeah.
like, if I'm gonna do products, I would probably
your way,
just do
yeah.
it my way anyway.
Yeah.
So
So everything except the gear. But Landon acquired that, and he's been doing some really cool things with it this year.
yeah.
A lot of cool things planned for next year, which we'll talk about. And
This is good timing that we're
it is
doing
good
this,
timing, actually,
because we
yeah.
just made a huge announcement yesterday.
big one.
So I'm glad we waited. Let's see. I stalled for a reason.
I'm glad
knowing
we're going to be able to announce it on our podcast.
no, because I wait. When is this going live?
Wednesday.
When were you making the announcement?
Okay, yeah.
Yesterday.
You'll,
No, the
I did.
full
I made
announcement.
an unofficial announcement yesterday. Yeah, the official announcement.
that was unofficial.
Yeah, that was the
unofficial.
unofficial.
Wow,
So-
great
So the
engagement.
fine print. Yeah, the fine
Yeah.
print said.
I made the announcement early. I'm not gonna say prematurely, just earlier than I anticipated because
Gotcha.
there was a couple posts in the Facebook group of
Yeah.
like, "Is this group dead?"
I saw
And
those.
people like basically like, "Hey, just for the record, if you guys shut down Full-Time Filmmaker, can you just make sure that we get all the videos and stuff?" So like posts like that. I'm like,
Download it
"Oh,
all."
freak!" I'm like, we should probably say something
Yeah.
before mass panic ensues.
Or just engage the community more often.
Yeah, that probably would have solved it.
Hey,
it's
I'm so excited for this podcast.
It's complicated. Okay, no, but like
Just a live stream here and there.
yeah, maybe
Answer some questions about what gear to buy.
you know what, guys, full circle. We'll come to it. You're gonna understand.
Landon's part of the elitists now.
Yeah. Yes. No. So I'll launch the official video on January 1st.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going live the 31st of December.
Okay. All
No,
right.
just kidding. Well,
Well, yeah, it is.
just
We
kidding.
can
No,
wait a day.
No,
Wait,
it's
wait.
okay.
No,
It's
no,
okay.
because, no, because we release on Wednesdays.
It's fine. Nobody's
we
gonna
release
watch
on
this-
Wednesdays, and
this
Christmas
Wednesday,
and
guys.
New Year's is on a Wednesday. So I think we're gonna do Thursdays. So you'll have a day on us.
Okay.
So you can release to your hundreds of thousands. We'll release to our
Truly, I
couple-
don't.
A couple
care.
of tens.
couple
All that
tens.
much. Hell yeah, let's go. Sounds
This
great.
goes viral. Blow it up, boys. No, yeah. I guess we can say the announcement now so we can stop teasing it. But essentially, Landon approached me and asked to come back to FTF next year with Parker
Yeah.
and be back on the YouTube channel. So
true.
you tickled my nostalgia. And
Wow.
You
Tickled
Nostalgia-
my nostalgia
pretty
bone.
sure you.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, did you comment that or text it? Because
I texted
you've,
that.
You've
But I've been
rehearsed
saying it a
that
lot.
line.
I've been
Yeah.
saying it a lot.
Yeah.
Tickled my
Tickled my
nostalgia.
nostalgia.
Yeah.
It's a rehearsed line he did in the mirror.
I thought you were gonna say something else that was slightly inappropriate.
No, but yeah, so I'll be back on the channel next year. Parker as well. Just doing probably monthly or bi-monthly videos.
Yeah.
Bi-monthly. Every other month, maybe. We'll see.
A few times a quarter.
Often videos.
Quarterly.
Bring
Yeah.
back some old series. Just like, bring the old team back for a little bit.
Yeah,
Fun.
it felt time. Like we had. It feels like it's only been a year since like everything got signed
Crazy.
over, but it also it feels like a long
Yeah.
time. Like, and
does.
it's hard to explain. And what's interesting, I was talking about this with somebody this morning, and what's interesting is that if you run a business and you're trying new things and you're having wins and you're having failures, all these different things are happening. Like for the most part, if it's a typical business, no one really knows all the details. Like no one's like
Yeah.
really watching you at every move you make. With Full-Time Filmmaker, it's the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Because while we don't have like tens of thousands of employees, we have tens of thousands of students
30.
and yes, and well actually
yeah.
not more. And millions of people on the YouTube channel. So it's like and I'm okay with that, but it's like every move you make is kind of critiqued and
watching it.
watched in some way. And so the pressure is
And
pretty,
everyone has an opinion.
and everyone has an opinion. And it's like, guys, like we're figuring it out. And
Yeah.
and honestly, like if you look at it from the outside in, I made this comment yesterday on one of the posts where they were kind of calling me out in the group.
In
when
the
I heard it.
comments
And-
to a comment.
What?
Was it a post someone made or was it a
Someone
comment?
made a post and I commented on it. And I
Gotcha.
was like, for the record, I'm like, from the outside looking in, it probably looks like there's not as much activity with Full-Time Filmmaker. But I'm like, 2024 was actually a bigger financial year for us than 2023 was. Like,
Yeah.
the business is doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
But long term, like what we did in this last year were so many different things that kind of moved us away from our core product and our core
Yeah.
audience, which is Full-Time Filmmaker Premium, right?
Yeah.
And so like, while financially it was like a good year, long term that wasn't going to work,
Yeah.
right? Because it was launching multiple products, and when you do
Yeah.
product launches, yeah, you can have good revenue coming in, but it doesn't mean that's good consistent
Yeah. Mhm.
revenue. So,
Why not FTF Plus?
what, like a streaming service? What are you talking
Just
Well, there's FTF
kind
Premium.
of picture the
right?
logo.
about? Okay.
Streaming service.
Premium versus just like a little
Playing
what
back
would,
here
what
on
would
the
Plus
TV.
entail?
Put me in, coach. Nothing. Same thing. Just
Just a different name.
Just
Just
a
to
different name.
confuse
Well,
people.
what is FTF Premium?
FTA Premium is the flagship course with
Okay.
all the mini courses and
Okay.
everything else, right?
Gotcha.
so what is FTF?
Yes. What's FTF?
The company as a whole.
Gotcha.
Did you guys not know that? Where have you been?
It's always just been FTF.
No, I know,
the
but like,
premium. Is that new?
Yeah,
Is that
what's
coming in 20?
premium?
Is
no,
that
no. That's always been that. You look at the sales. The
Jake,
sales
you knew
pages
this.
said
You worked
FTF.
there for a long time. It was
premium
always
was
like
not
that.
there when I was there.
Okay, the sales pages has said
We would have done Plus.
Yeah,
it says FTF Premium for like 4 or 5 years. I don't know where you guys have been for that
No
long,
way.
but it's been like that forever.
Oh, the premium offer?
Yeah.
Like, are you talking like
Oh.
in
Oh, you're officially
Kajabi?
call
Like,
it premium.
Yes.
Oh, didn't know that.
Wow. This is
That's what I got. That's
this
why I
is
left.
wild. That's why
I didn't know what was going on in the company.
no.
I was a
it's-
bad partner.
Yeah, I'm shocked actually. It's fine. No. So premium. That's just
It's the
that's
course,
just-
yeah.
It's
Okay.
what we
The
refer
flagship
to
product.
as like all the fundamentals, the basics, and then all the mini courses and everything.
Okay,
that
yeah,
goes
yeah,
with
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Okay, that's FTF Premium.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the differentiator. FTF is the
Yeah,
is the
yeah,
company.
okay.
FTF
Gotcha.
Premium is the flagship course.
Same page.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, really quick, we're going to get back to the episode here in just a second, but we need to talk about MusicBed. And that's because as a filmmaker, one of the hardest parts about this job is finding music that fits the vibe you're looking for. We've been down the rabbit hole, we've done hours of searching only to land on tracks that are just fine at best, but they're not perfect. And that's why 5 years ago we switched to MusicBed and we never looked back. The moment we started using MusicBed, we realized that they're not just another generic licensing platform. They've redefined what music should be for filmmakers because the tracks are authentic, they're emotional, and they're made by real artists. I mean, you can really feel the difference. They've set this insane standard for quality too because they're very picky about the amount of artists that they accept. So it's not like you're just sifting through fluff. Everything is highly curated. And their new AI-powered search tool is nothing short of amazing. I can find the perfect track in minutes instead of hours. So if you're ready to elevate your work and win over more clients, head to the link in the description where you can claim your 14-day free trial of MusicBed. And trust us when we say this is an absolute game changer. Now we're gonna head back to the show.
Cool. I'm excited for next year for you, man.
All right. Okay.
This year was cool
All
to
right,
watch.
See you later. Great. All right.
No, this year was awesome to watch. I think I was just talking to actually a good friend of mine, Justin Porter, last night about this kind of ideas that
Justin.
there's just kind of this like annoying, especially in this influencer world, there's this really annoying expectation that you have to figure it out right away when you're trying something brand new.
Yeah.
And Justin, he's a good example of someone who's trying something completely different in the wedding world than anyone else.
Yeah.
And he's figuring it out and he's very open about his struggles with that. And it's just like, you know what? It's fine. Figure it out.
Yeah, dude.
And so like it's
people
funny.
love authenticity. Too.
Yeah, so
Like,
it's funny
talk
to
about
see
it.
people in the group say like, "Oh, I don't feel it's the same energy in this group at least." of the old FTF, but it's also like, okay, but look at everything else. Like everything we're growing, we're building, we're giving all this feedback you guys have been giving us. We're making those products for you.
Yeah.
The overlay thing is crazy.
Totally.
The coaching program is crazy. All that stuff. It's like you're expanding that universe.
Yeah.
And because the vast majority wanted that, and so it's annoying to me when you check those boxes. There's always another thing. Okay, thanks for that. But now I want this group to be. Whatever,
it's a fine line, right? And like, and what's unique about Full Time Filmmaker is, and we've talked about this a lot, is like Parker, when he launched it, it was lifetime access and lifetime updates, which is a good thing, right? But when I'm hopping in there and I'm acquiring a company for $4 million almost, it's like
secrets out.
you have to. I've said that number before. It's okay.
Secrets out again.
You have to make you have to make money, right? And like you obviously have new students coming in, and there's obviously a ton of revenue attached to that. That's where all the revenue has come in over the last 5-6 years. But you can also sell your existing students on new product offerings, which is like totally acceptable. It's like you guys have your course, and then you sell them on a workshop or a master class or whatever it might be. Like it's way easier to sell an existing customer than to acquire a new customer.
Right.
And that's just what we did over the last year. And so like we launched 3 main things last year. This year. It was Happy Creative Coaching, which was an extra thing on top of Full Time Filmmaker. Pocket Filmmaker, which was included in Full Time Filmmaker, but we knew it was going to expand our reach and our audience, just a bigger market for us. So iPhone filmmaking. And then Overlay, which was the editing assets just for the creative industry as a whole, which was also an additional thing from Full Time Filmmaker. And we did that, and they had very successful launches, you know.
Yeah.
So I think the majority of the Full Time Filmmaker students, like when they saw those products come out, if they weren't already included in FTF, if they were interested in it, they would buy it, and they weren't upset about that. They're like, I think for the most part, there's probably about 95% of the students in Full Time Filmmaker who at this point in time feel like they've gotten their money's worth.
Oh yeah.
A million times over.
Way more, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then there's like that 5% ish that's like they're happy, but like they still want more. And so when you put something out,
And
that's
they're the
not
loudest.
they're usually
always
the
the
loudest.
loudest.
Yes.
They're in the Facebook comments.
So when you put something out that's not included, they're like, why is this not included? And and they can be upset. And like, and I had students who were like really mad at me, and I'm like, hey, I totally get it, but like you gotta understand, like we're
Different
trying.
business, yeah.
It's a different business. We're trying new things, and one of the first things that Parker told me when I acquired it was, you have to make this yours. Like you have to bring stuff to the table that's yours, because
Be
it's
the
gonna be
face of
so
it.
much easier to sell it if it is,
Yeah.
you know. And that's what I did. And so in hindsight, I'm like, maybe I should have made it part of Full Time Filmmaker first, maybe not. But at the end of the day, it's all coming full circle.
Right.
And 2 of those 3 things are included in Full Time Filmmaker. One of them is going to be heavily discounted for Full Time Filmmaker students, the
Which one?
Overlay Assets
Overlay,
pack.
That's right.
And so like, I don't regret this last year. It's just been
Learning.
figuring it out.
Do you feel like FTF kind of has like 2 different segments of customers, kind of like 2016 to like 2022 ish, and then 2022 to now? Do you feel like there's a lot more pushback from the people who are like the legacy customers when you try to introduce like new things like Overlay and like the new coaching programs, as opposed to the new people who have joined when FTF was already kind of?
I don't. No, I don't
No?
think so. I feel like, and to be honest, I almost feel like the legacy people are the most supportive.
Because they've realized they've got their value
Probably made
Yeah.
it by now.
a million times
Yeah,
over,
they're like pretty good, you know, like,
and they know it's quality.
Business
totally.
owners, they get it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say there's a split there, really, to be honest. I think there's just certain personalities that want more, and which is totally fine.
We know.
right? You know how it is.
Right.
You guys run course
Right.
stuff, and like I love everybody, and I want everyone to be successful, but it's just this balance. Like you're gonna have raving fans, and you're gonna have a select few that just whatever you do, they're not gonna be happy with,
enough.
and that's okay, right?
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
No, FTF was huge, man. We always talk about it. It's like, it was the first one. Like it really was.
FTF was.
Truly, yeah.
Crazy. Not everyone on the dog has a course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I still think, I mean, like, because when Parker kind of came to me with that opportunity to take it over, you're like, we totally could have just started my own course. And he had actually like asked me a few months prior, he's like, why haven't you like started your own course or program or community or anything yet? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just happy doing what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
And so for us, like really the acquisition, it's the brand, it's the legacy of what Full Time Filmmaker is. Like that's more than anything what we bought was that. And obviously there's a huge customer base and there's a flow of leads and people coming in, right? But that was the biggest thing. It's like if you couldn't really put a price on that name, on the brand itself.
Right.
Like the way we valued the company was based off just revenue alone, not on like
Yeah,
just perceived value, right? So it was a pretty good deal, I think.
I think so.
Love it.
Dude, you're killing it. I'm really excited for next year.
Thanks, dude.
Excited to tickle my nostalgia.
Can't wait.
Tickle the nostalgia.
Somebody to
baby.
title my first video, guys. Nostalgia tickled.
Oh yeah. No, it'll be good. And so yeah, so I mean, moving forward to 2025, it's like we've had a year. I have a year under my belt of running everything, of being the solo person on the YouTube channel, and we've seen a pretty like steep decline in terms of views and engagement, which is okay. Like obviously
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
fine.
ideal, but it's like, okay, now we know what works and what doesn't work. And I had this. I'm not gonna call it a revelation because that sounds way too dramatic, but a
Call it a revelation.
realization. This thought. I'm like, what can we do to like bring back the energy that FTF used to have? And like the most obvious way is to like hit them with nostalgia. Just bring back the OG team. And we've all moved on to different things. And so as we bring people back, it's not like Parker's the boss again and he owns Full-Time Filmmaker and we're employed by him. Like the tables have turned in the way that now I own it and you guys are contractors and you're
We
working
bend the knee to you.
for me. Yeah, exactly. well said. And it's just different. It's like you guys saw like the Jaguar rebrand, the car.
Yeah.
They went a very weird route. Like their sales have been declining for years.
Lost their customer base.
Their design, yes, their designs have sucked, and they have needed something to revive it. And the route that they went was, hey, we're gonna do something that's really out there and kind of weird, and everyone freaking hated it. What they should have done, because
Well, their legacy clients hated it, especially.
yeah, 100%. But like Jaguar is such a badass brand.
Yeah.
They have so much like racing heritage.
Watch your language on this podcast. by the
Sorry,
way.
bad, but brand, and they just have
kidding,
so
just
much
kidding.
racing heritage. What they should have done is brought back some of the OG designs, like some really old vintage, but like
Yeah.
almost like resto mod, where
agree.
it looks old but it's modern at the same
Yeah.
time. That's what they should have done, and they would have freaking killed it. And so that was an example of like, we can't do anything like that. Like if we're gonna move into 2025 and make some changes, it's not gonna be some dramatic rebrand that doesn't
Yeah.
match the legacy of FTF. It's gonna have to go back to its roots.
Have you seen the Nutter Butter TikTok?
No,
Yeah. Have you seen the Nutter Butter TikTok?
Nutter Butter.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Like
How
it-
am I the only one who's seen
A
My
single
TikTok,
TikTok?
is movies and
No, you guys.
special needs people.
You guys.
you know what's funny is mine is too. Well, my Instagram
And
is.
the sad thing is,
Built up
my
brick by brick.
my For You page has morphed into yours and Sam's because you guys send me just the most
I
vile.
built it brick by brick.
Just mine used to be
funny.
great, just tailored perfectly to me. Now it's just like, I don't even want to talk
Okay, what's
about
the
it.
Nutter Butter?
The Nutter
TikTok?
Butter thing is like, everyone who knows who Nutter Butter is, we grew up with it, but it was
Who
nothing
Nutter Butter
special.
is or what Nutter Butter?
Nutter Butter
Okay,
is, right?
okay, got
You
it.
love them.
Yeah.
But
Him.
you aren't aware they're on social media or anything. But for like the past year, I don't know who they hired. They've been posting the most just like Gen Z, Gen Alpha or whatever, just acid trip TikTok.
Unhinged,
I
brain
did
rot.
see one.
Crazy
I did see
things,
one.
and they
Yep.
are blowing up, and their
Really?
sales have just like went through the roof.
Yeah.
And so I guess it's kind of like a different thing because like Nutter Butter never had like a loyal fan base. You
Dude,
know?
when you're dead, you can do anything.
Yeah,
Like, when-
and that's
when-
exactly
yeah.
what they did.
Yeah.
It's been so
hilarious.
crazy, and now everyone's trying to like copy them and do these weird acid trip.
Well, I mean,
TikToks.
Like you got to kind of recognize where you're at, and then say, is the route to completely change paths, or is the route to go back to
go
what works?
back to what
Yeah.
works.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen Wendy's do that for years.
Yeah,
Wendy's has been
exactly.
crazy.
Wendy's is a
They're
good one.
like the mascot is like unhinged on Twitter
Yeah,
and
the
everywhere
Twitter
else.
and
They're-
tweet.
Be on
Yeah.
threads like Wendy's nuts. Like, they have the craziest.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
were
and,
wild.
And
Everyone kinda followed
Duolingo is like the best example.
Duolingo,
They
yeah.
are. Have you
Duolingo
seen
is
any
good.
Duolingo
Yeah,
stuff?
Duolingo is a great example of that.
You
I just
never.
love Google. Like
Yeah.
in the comments, I wouldn't search that on the most crazy TikToks.
I mean, Duolingo, and also like, did you guys ever see Slim Jim? Like the Slim Jim account guy was
no.
always everywhere.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like it's actually a route that we're taking in 2025 with social media too.
Yeah.
And I was literally just talking right before I left. I was talking with Bryson about this, he's videographer. He runs our YouTube channel and everything
Grizz.
too. And he just barely posted a slightly more unhinged, just off the cuff video. And I forget the name. It's the guy off the Muppets with the crazy hair, and he has the phone.
Oh
super
yeah, I
trendy right now.
love that meme right now.
So he posted a video with him
With
and then
the-
like the music
The
from
Deadpool and Wolverine song.
yeah.
Yeah, like a prayer.
And it was just something like when you send the video off to a client and then they request 4 more versions and blah 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 blah
Yeah,
blah. So
my
like
face one.
we're gonna be a little bit more unhinged on social.
Should.
But
too.
just present
Nice.
everywhere and just kind of relating
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
everybody.
Well, did you guys see the Superman trailer this morning?
I didn't see the final. I saw
no.
the teaser that.
They posted this morning.
I saw that you
Okay.
sent it. I didn't
It
click
is
on the link.
so. It's getting so much hype.
Here's the thing, Jake. I'm in your Cinephiles group, and I
Right.
used to be a moderator of
Or removed
said
you.
group.
You did.
Removed him.
And then for
He was
some
a troll.
reason, I got
Landon trolled
removed.
my community.
I
And
wasn't
so
even
I-
allowed to comment because he was afraid that you and I were going to talk crap about Jake.
Oh,
No.
So are you?
But then I convinced
I knew
Jake.
the Discord that was going to happen, so I said no.
he
Oh,
didn't
no,
want.
I've-
He didn't want it disrupted. He didn't want it.
okay.
He
Little
was.
space.
Yeah.
He
After you
was
took
my
me
little
out,
corner.
I
He
just
was
stopped
censoring.
engaging.
My little corner.
He was
altogether.
censoring.
Anyway,
Go ahead.
the Superman trailer dropped today, and everyone's just like, "We're back!" Like it just, they went back to the comics, to the what Superman represents, like about hope and all
Yeah.
these things. And everyone's just like, "Yes." They went back to the John Williams score from like Christopher Reeves movies, and like Zack Snyder's take on Henry Cavill was really cool. But it's like, yeah, but that's not what Superman was about. And so kind of same thing. Like it's like your customers are wanting something, your brand is associated with something. Give it more of that, not less of that. You know,
Totally,
go
yeah.
back to what works, what sells.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I listen. People don't think I like look at any comments or anything in the group. I'm like, no, dude, I probably see 98% of what you
Oh,
guys
man.
post. Like we've been taking notes. We've been working on this stuff for a long time. So yeah, dude, we're excited.
Yeah.
They're really good changes, and I'm proud. I'm proud of what we built over the last year and kind of where we've like ended up.
Yeah.
And I feel like as a CEO and an owner and a manager, like I feel like I've grown a ton in the
Yeah.
last year. And
Yeah.
you like
Yeah, your
the-
hair grew.
my hair grew,
hair.
my
You're bulking.
Whatever you have, seriously, I've
My
noticed that
beard
in you as
gut,
well.
You're bulking.
Yeah.
actually I stopped. I did it for about a month or a week after I talked to you, and then I gave up.
You stopped right after you talked to me.
Yeah, Nate's like, you have to eat 1 gram of protein for every pound.
Yeah.
And I'm
Not
like,
quite. Almost.
0.8.
basically. And I did that for about a week.
Which? How much do you weigh? Tell the people.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much I weigh. What do
He
you
eat a lot
think?
of protein.
What do you think I weigh?
I bet you weigh
80.
140.
You weigh 180?
148 to 1.
Some of us might weigh more than that.
140, 145 to 155.
Yeah, I'm about
tall are you?
150.
Wow.
If I weighed 180, it would probably be in my butt because you can't see it on camera. Like it would just be.
Landon's caked up for
I-
those audio viewers.
You guys have no idea. That's why I got married so fast.
Let's move on to the questions from our community.
Actually, no.
So
what we should do is, since we're talking about weight gain and food, we should eat the gingerbread cookies
Oh.
on camera.
Gosh,
So-
let me get them.
Can I preface this?
Can you share one with Nate?
Please do.
No offense. Go get your own. That's okay. I'll
offense.
share. But I need to take one out of yours. I'm
Okay,
so
yeah,
protective
yeah.
of these things.
Okay, so here, can I give a little
Go ahead.
backstory?
Yeah,
just
give the
on-
backstory. Give the backstory to the gingerbread.
Okay, so these gingerbread cookies, my wife and her mom has been making these for years. They're just
Okay.
tiny little gingerbread cookies. Pull one out, show the camera.
Yeah, please do.
And I've never had gingerbread. When you think of gingerbread, it's like
Wow.
a hard, crispy.
you don't like
and
it.
you don't
yeah.
really
That's why
like
I
it.
don't like
It's
them.
not.
The
Usually-
flavor's fine, but like these, the flavor is so
Never
good,
tried
and
those.
they
Pretty
are
good.
soft and chewy and delicious.
So like homemade gingerbread, homemade everything.
homemade gingerbread. So my wife literally made like 1,000 of these yesterday,
So-
and every
okay.
year that we make them, we give a thing to Jake once. I'll give you more. Don't worry. Jeez.
And
So
it's-
you give me a small one. I literally gave these to you.
And it's kept your friendship alive.
Yeah, every year I've given him some, and he texts me.
Smells amazing.
You guys,
Yeah,
these
they're
are
nice.
the best things every year.
Holy cow.
You
They're
ready?
soft.
You're not
They're
allergic.
chewy.
No, I had to call allergic reaction.
Seriously, you guys, these have kept Landon and I together.
So
Yeah.
hang on. Landon, what we used to do, we used to eat a new chocolate every single
Oh, yeah,
episode.
man, OG kitchen.
And it was discontinued because apparently people don't like us chewing into the
ASMR.
microphone.
chocolate has
So
that noise
just
too.
for a second here,
You
we're
do smack a lot.
yeah, Jake was smacking into the mic
Hold on. I was savoring.
right next to the mic.
You have to savor.
So for those who
Deal.
don't want to hear us chew, you can fast forward. Oh yeah, there we go.
You ready?
Here we go. Man, those are good. Wow.
I gotta not eat these until I get home because my wife needs to eat these as well. She loves them.
Landon, I'm not exaggerating when I say those are the best gingerbread cookies I've ever had.
telling
Damn gingerbread I've ever had.
Best damn gingerbread.
Dipping those in some milk,
Oh, dude.
that is gonna hit.
I've had this thousands of times, and every time it's just.
Does
still
she
just
share
as
the recipe or no?
Does Jillian freelance? Like, would you come over and make me a whole oven full and
Does
then
she
leave?
do parties? Does she do events?
Does she
Could we
cater?
hire Jillian?
Does she cater?
No, it's a long process.
Would you drop FTF and
Does she-
support Jillian in opening a bakery?
No.
Jillian's ginger.
Clip that.
Gigi's.
She's,
Hey, that's great.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
Gigi's Bakery.
Gigi's.
No, it's not gonna happen.
Jillian's gingerbread.
What would you do in the off
Sounds like she
season?
needs a husband who supports her. Not really
Yeah, it does.
feeling the support.
No,
Well, gingerbread
no.
doesn't sell in the
Once a year
summer.
is enough for her.
You could make enough money in the winter
You're right.
to live.
You're right.
It's a seasonal business for sure.
You're right.
Yeah. You just buy ingredients throughout the year sporadically.
September through January.
And then in November, you
No,
just
Those
those
are
are the
incredible.
best cookies I've ever
Those
had.
are incredible.
they really are quite good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Because I like the Trader Joe's crispy ones, but these are better.
Trader Joe's.
The best.
you can't put a price on that.
Scandinavian swimmers.
You know, I'll have another. Fantastic.
Just
Wha-
smack
wha-
in the mic while you do it.
While Jake is getting another gingerbread, I'm going to ask you a question, okay?
Okay.
Well, so we submitted a form to our audience and just saying, hey, we got Landon, by the way, coming on the show. Everyone knows who you are. I don't know how many of them know that you've shot 3 weddings?
Man, has it been that many?
I shot Landon's.
I remember you shot Shad's. I photoed. I took photographs.
Yeah,
How much Landon cares about photography.
terrible
I know.
photos.
But you've shot what, 1, 2, 3 weddings?
No, I probably shot around 8 actually.
Really? So enough to know that you didn't like it.
They're LDS weddings.
Gotcha.
They're like it's like a quarter of a wedding.
Yeah,
talk about
it's
those.
different. We do.
It's very different.
Whole different
So
world.
a lot of people know you for your content that you produce, but you do have some wedding filmmaking experience below your belt, enough to have an opinion. And
hate
so the first question is, this is from Mario. We can share a name. This is from
Okay.
Mario. He said, "What is your true opinion about wedding filmmakers? Not just your opinion, your true opinion
About
Don't
wedding
lie to us.
filmmakers?
About wedding filmmakers.
Remember, a lot of these guys are potential customers.
Yeah. Keep in mind.
But please.
No, actually, I don't have anything bad to say about wedding filmmakers. Actually, I think you guys are like ballers because it's
Probably the nicest thing you've
probably
ever
the
said.
nicest thing
Yeah.
no,
Yes,
like
ever said.
like, and
Incredible.
I genuinely mean that because like it's just not my cup of tea. Like I'm not interested in that personally.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've had conversations about this where, and LDS weddings specifically, they're redundant. They're all
They
the
are.
exact same. There's never any variation. So if that's all you do, it's going to get really boring really fast. So you guys getting into more traditional weddings and luxury and just whatever. Yeah, like that's way more exciting. But regardless, like it's a format that you do day in and day
Yeah.
out. Like there is variation, but it's more or less the same rigid formula, right? And so I think for a videographer to be willing to do that, I think is huge. Like I have a lot of respect for wedding videographers. Now, wedding videos, I hate, absolutely detest. I will
Including
never,
your own.
including my. Actually, I just. You know what's funny, Yeah, Jake? Don't be offended by this.
It's fine.
Okay. Jake shot our wedding video. You were there.
One of my first
I was
years.
there.
You were there. You
I
were
was a
one of my groomsmen. Yes.
Yeah.
2018, right?
Yeah. December 2018.
So I was a year into this job.
Almost exactly 6 years ago. Actually,
Congratulations.
it's the day that I met Spencer.
You
Sam.
met Spencer on your
I
wedding
met
day?
Spencer on my
'Cause
wedding day. Our
he was shooting
photographer.
photo-
Yep,
Really?
had never met him before, and I met him literally as I was walking out of the temple
Uh-huh.
to wave to everybody. And
Yeah.
Anyways, you shot our wedding video, and you did it for free, except I paid you like $200 in chip gift cards. The cookie company. I think that was your payment. That's what you requested, and I was like, "Pff, okay, whatever.
2018 Jake was different Jake.
Yeah. So we
40
watched.
pounds lighter back then.
Yeah, well, yeah. Okay, so we watched the wedding video that you made like a week ago. And I hate to say it, Jake, but I feel like you kind of half-assed that one.
Wow.
We looked at the. First off, I'm very grateful.
They're
you know,
comparing that to Mackenzie and Spencer.
comparing this to your wedding videos today. I feel like you really screwed the pooch.
You
on that.
really did.
Yeah,
No,
You're all
actually,
into it.
we were looking
Can't
at
wait
it.
to
What was that?
myself.
The Mark IV?
Yeah.
I think so. 5D Mark IV. But the
Landon chose the
composition.
songs. I had to walk out. There's
Okay.
like 50 bridesmaids.
Nate, let me explain.
Yeah, yeah.
There was
No,
no
I was
Ages
there.
from 12 to 50.
nothing was centered in that video. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah.
The composition on
Off
that was
canter.
Stylistic choice.
it wasn't even like rule of thirds. It was just like off a little bit, and it
I don't
bugged
think
me
I had
so
learned
bad.
composition yet.
Yeah.
At that stage of my career.
So while I'm extremely grateful that you
No,
did it, and it's a
please.
great just like historical thing for us to go back and
You've
look
got
at
some
this video.
criticisms.
I have some criticisms, and it was
No, it's probably one of my worst videos.
Landon,
well, okay, well, there you go.
Rough
Not the
subjects
other
to work with.
No, the video is overall the video is good because it's a really good encapsulation of what happened that day. Like I've loved that.
Which
element
wasn't
of it.
much.
Which wasn't much because with an LDS wedding, you go into the
It's like a slideshow
temple,
with B-roll.
No one see exactly like literally like it's a few B-roll shots of the temple, and then suddenly, hey, we're
And it was
exiting.
cold.
It was freezing cold. You get a few like
Rough
bridals
photographer to
done.
work with.
Yeah, that was rough.
Fighting the space.
And then it's just the reception and the send off, and that's it. Like it's they're really not that insane. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, not a
Pretty
composition guy, I guess.
no, I guess not.
It's important to me now.
There's also
Let's redo it.
dude, there's a
Get your suit
jump
back on.
there's a jump cut in that video that bugs me so bad.
oh,
It's so bad.
Jump cuts were big back then.
It's
with
not it's
montages.
not a good jump cut. So here's what you did. It was a shot of my wife and I walking down the steps just for like a bridal quick shoot.
Cutting the beat.
We're yes, we're walking down the steps. So you have like a single clip, and then you're cutting it on the beat, and then like we move just a little bit more forward down like the stairs. So like you're cutting out just a portion
Because you
of
walk
it.
so slow.
Yeah. And why are you blaming this on me?
Because I'm
You
really
had-
defensive.
and then so like you cut it once and it's
deep-rooted
fine, and
insecurities.
it's like it jumps to us like a little bit further down the stairs,
Couple
which is
steps
totally
down.
fine. And then on the next beat, it's like
10 steps.
you no you cut and where you cut it actually goes back in time a little bit and then keeps
Oh.
going. So it's like it's a bad
Interesting
it's
style
a
of choice.
bad jump cut,
Interesting
dude.
creative choice.
And I just knew I was like I just know Jacob was editing this, was like, oh my gosh, I freaking hate this. And so he was just like cranking it out, and you knew you made a
It's not
mistake, but
true.
you're like,
He's pulling it up
whatever.
on
I promise
Vimeo.
it's not
He's-
true.
He's got
Are you
it
gonna pull
just
it up?
on the
Lena
quick
did
link.
not feel that way towards you.
Do you have it handy?
I'm
had
sorry.
I had
I'm
to
sorry.
dig deep to
He's
find
probably
this.
got it.
I'm
Like,
sorry
right
it felt
Really?
that way, though.
within 5
You
clicks.
keep all your worst videos on your phone.
Man, Landon really keep my ears to cancel me.
No, again, I can say
My
this 'cause
first and
we're-
happy
we're all
customer.
It's been
buddies.
6 years.
And it's been 6
Yeah.
years. I'm not salty about it. A little bit, but no, it's it's a good video.
No, I'm gonna kill
besides that
myself.
part and all the composition errors.
Oh, it was 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
Okay, here, can you
gotta
want me to scrub
pull
and find it?
No, I can't.
Wow,
This is
what a
copyright
classic
music.
song.
This song,
I think
just
Landon
wrote-
chose the
Ben
song.
Rector.
Yeah, Ben
Wow,
Rector.
I had some solid establishing. You look great.
Let me see.
I do look very handsome. Are you gonna
We'll
pull this
overlay
up for
you
everybody?
guys. Yeah, I just can't do the music.
Man, those are some tight pants you got.
That suit.
Jillian looks great.
That suit
Oh, Nate looks
inspired
great.
Many. Yeah,
That
you
was
look
a good
the
hug.
exact
That was a good
same.
hug.
So much
Really?
joy.
Haven't aged.
So
In a
much
good way.
happiness.
You seriously.
Is it a
though.
one-song video?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
I do. See, yeah, I don't know why I didn't just a slight push in.
Yeah, well, like you see, you just see how off center I am. Like,
I think it's
there's a
'cause-
lot of
okay,
shots
I think
like
it's
that.
because
I
back
love you,
then-
but I'm like,
I know. No, okay.
Center me,
In my
please.
defense, I think back then something I was learning that I've learned now is I felt like the photographer deserved this
The
bubble.
center angle.
And so I thought if they're in the center, I have to be off to the side. And I always, in most of my wedding films back then, I was always on the side shooting like diagonally, almost always. And now I don't care because I want composition. So I'm literally like over the person's shoulder. Sometimes my camera lens is by their ear because I'm getting the exact center shot.
Yeah.
Because I just don't care anymore.
So really, this
about
is
people's
Spencer's
stories.
fault. This is
So-
Spencer's fault.
No,
Okay.
it was my fault. Yeah.
oh, now he owns it. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Did you find the shot, the jump cut that I was talking about?
It's not playing.
Bad Wi-Fi.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Everyone will
no,
see
really, it's
your
fine.
massive mistake. when
Linked
you play
below, by the way.
it. Can you
That's
like?
good. That's good composition.
Yeah. Can you overlay it on this video?
Well, maybe it's because maybe it's because you had an uneven amount of groomsmen,
Oh, it's my fault now.
This is your fault,
right?
First, it's Spencer's
Nothing
fault,
worse
then
than it's like
my
4 on
fault.
one side, 5 on the other.
My
Okay,
bad,
hold on.
guys.
Get into
It
it.
is
Get
your
into
my
it.
bad.
It is
So you
shouldn't
walk
have
down the
happened.
steps and then it goes back in time. Man, I miss these temple steps though.
Is this the step? Is this the?
I think it's approaching.
The Canon 5D
down.
Mark IV.
Jump cut down. Down further.
Down.
Oh. No. Wrong. You paused on that step and then you were just going up again. So you paused and then you took
Stood
a
on
big
your
step
tippy
up
toes.
and so it just
Okay.
looked like it went back in time.
Play that clip, and then I want you to ask everybody after this episode releases.
Well, they
Like,
weren't
well,
there. They don't know. I know. I was there. Trust me. Landon,
You're
pause.
the creator here.
Re-step back.
You're supposed to see.
Len, I'm
and
sorry
be
you
like,
hate your wedding film. All right.
No, I really do. I love it.
Man, the Canon 5D Mark IV though, arguably one of my favorite
miss
cameras
that
of all
camera.
time.
Slaps.
I miss
It's
that
so
camera.
good.
It really is. It's quite good.
Just the
Great
color
bang
straight
for
out.
buck.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Back then, it's like there were just a few cameras that were like
So
just
good.
primo. It's like perfect. You
Because they
had
weren't making them every single month that they do now.
no, you had like the 5D Mark IV,
Yeah.
and then you had like the step up, which is like the 1DX2.
Yeah.
and
Was it?
like and that was it. That's like
That really was it.
like I went from. Do you remember when I had a GH5 and then I was like consulting you? I'm like, guys, should I
I
get the
remember the
1DX2?
GH5,
Like,
yeah.
what should we do? And you're like, just do it, dude. It'll be the best thing you ever do. And so I did. So I bought a used 1DX2.
I missed that camera.
Game changer.
Such a
I
good
missed
camera.
the 1DX2.
I do too. I
What
know.
a beautiful camera.
I feel Canon is just like
how many
falling
R's
behind.
are there now?
A lot. I don't know. The dozen.
I don't know.
There's
People will
there's a
say me like,
ton.
"What about this?" I'm like, "I don't know, man.
Like, is there an R9?
I don't know."
I don't think so.
Because
No.
there's EOS R.
You're right though. Like we're at the point where
three,
like people
four,
are like, what
five.
camera should I buy?
It's
Is
too
this
many.
one good?
It's
I'm
too
like,
much.
honestly,
They're all the
they are
same.
all the same.
They're all the same.
They're all the same at this point.
They just take out one little feature, put in
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah.
Like when they did Candidly, we went to the Sony event for the A1 Mark II, and then they sent us that camera like a month early and their new lens, the 28 to 70 f2. Great lens, by the way.
I gotta buy that one.
It's really
Yeah.
nice. But the camera itself, it is the exact same camera as the A1.
Really?
It's the exact same, but they added AI. So you
What?
have
For what?
AI
For
focus
what?
tracking or whatever, and I'm like, okay, good. So it's like basically it's like typically with like eye tracking autofocus, you have to see the person's eye to track that, right? So with this new autofocus, it's like even if the person was wearing glasses, with AI, it knows where your eye is supposed to be, so it'll track that.
I feel
If
like
they
that's,
turn around and turn back, does it know?
I think so.
I feel
Yeah.
like
That's all I
that's
care
not
about.
actually AI. It's just another algorithm that they've made better. but
Probably.
they rebranded it
Probably,
as AI.
yeah. I don't know. So
it's hot.
we're just at that point where I'm like, I feel like we've just peaked.
Yeah.
You know?
We're just missing the point. Like I just don't. That's not what cameras are for. No
Yeah.
one cares.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's just too many. Back then, man, it was the 1DX. It was the 1DX, the Mark IV, and the A7S III.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was the only conversation.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
And
just
now
don't care
I'm
anymore.
I was on the phone with DJI last night. I'm on a call. We're doing potentially a commercial with them and with Film Lab. I might try and
Oh, Really?
do something together with them. Yeah.
I love these guys.
And then they have an event after CES in January. You know what CES
Yeah.
is in Vegas, and they're just showcasing a bunch of unreleased products and
That's sick.
testing stuff. So
Nice.
I got invited to that. I obviously can't say anything, but they were talking about or I asked him. He was talking about.
It's a safe space.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, anyways,
I can
they're.
neither confirm nor deny.
I
but
will.
Yes.
Blink once if it's a new drone.
I asked them if they had a new camera coming out, because have you heard the rumors of the new camera that DJI is making?
Yeah,
I've heard of, yeah.
don't care.
Don't care.
I bet DJI would kill it in the camera
Yeah, but
space.
I'm just not. Everyone has one now.
Here's why I care.
It's like phones.
Here's why I care. So there's like the top three. Like there's like in like any industry, like you have the top three players,
Right.
right? And then like the camera industry, it's like Sony, Canon, and then like maybe Nikon or
Fuji,
Lumix
yeah,
or something.
whatever.
Like there's like one more, maybe Red. I don't know. Maybe
Something
throw that
like
up
that,
there.
Nikon.
So you have like the top three, yes. And I'm like, if anyone is gonna come in and like dethrone one of those top threes, like as a new
gonna be
player,
DJI.
it'll be DJI. So like that's what excites me. It's like if
That's fair.
like those three existing people or
The underdog.
existing players, like they're comfortable, they're chilling, they don't need to make any crazy.
They're all
updates.
just
people
becoming
just
each
buy.
other.
It's
too.
true, yeah.
They're all just now one.
that's why you can't say that any camera is like astronomically better than
Just get any
another.
camera now, yeah.
Yeah, so I just feel like if anyone's
You're
going
just
to
kind of buying
disrupt it,
brand loyalty now.
Well, that was so cool that DJI was just out of nowhere. It was like, hey, we're going to release this Ronin 4D camera. And it's the coolest, most
that
unique.
thing was so dope, dude.
It was.
We have a
and
buddy
Russell.
London's best filmmaker, wedding filmmaker. He uses it religiously, and
Really?
it's the best.
It's
work.
gorgeous.
Dude,
He's like, I don't
it's-
recommend it
yeah.
to people, but for me, it's exactly what the tool I need.
Were you on that shoot with me? Were you on that
Yeah,
shoot with me when I did the
I was
R4?
with you.
I was
yeah,
there.
in
I
the
was with
desert.
you. Yeah, I was
Okay,
with
yeah.
you.
Because I was blown away.
It's
the dynamic
so
range.
cool.
it
and
was
they used it
so
to film
cool.
Civil War
Oh, really?
this year. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's freaking
Yeah.
nice. Big fan.
Well, it's cool because it was so innovative. It was something new,
Mm-hmm.
and did that have a Hasselblad on it?
think
It did,
so.
right?
I think so.
But
Yeah.
if you didn't, so Russell bought the very first version,
Mm-hmm.
which they didn't sell because then Red sued them right after because of the raw codec
So
they had.
stupid.
Oh.
And so they had to remove it.
Actually, I didn't
So
know
if
that.
you have one of the first few run on 4Ds,
Uh-huh.
you basically have the same quality as a Red cinema camera
Mm.
sensor. They had to remove because of the lawsuit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
See, I did have it, and then I had to give it back to Parker, and then he sold it.
Oh
So,
wow, he
gotta
had
be
that
sold
would
it
have
to
sold
Russell.
for a fat penny nowadays.
You think so?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, it's a nice camera, and so
It's cool.
I remember they were telling us like it was like 2020, 2021. Our rep at DJI was like, dude, we have this crazy thing coming out. It's a camera, and he was like describing it to me, and I'm like, I don't even know how to I don't even know what this is gonna look like. He's
Right.
like, the sensor
chicken.
detaches
I remember you
from
called it the
chicken
chicken.
head.
yeah, the chicken head. And I was like, okay, like it sounds insane. And then it finally came out, and I'm like, this thing actually is nuts. It's a
So
great.
cool.
I'm shocked that hasn't picked up.
It's just heavy. It's just like bulky. It's not easy to carry around.
It's
I think
weird.
it's,
Not
it's
very
more for
ergonomic.
production. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
maybe
it
I'll go back
looks
to
so
it.
good. The
It's so
product
good.
is clean.
Yeah, well, I've
Because
actually
Russell even uses it for the handheld mode a lot.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
it does a good job.
cool.
Yeah, I was
Beautiful.
talking with them with DJI in like February, and we're talking about like, hey, if you guys send us like 3 R4Ds, we'll make it our go-to camera for studio productions and stuff. And I guess there's just I think the cost for them to produce that is so high.
Probably crazy
Their
high.
margins aren't very good, and so they couldn't like commit to like just sending
That'd be
stuff
sick,
out.
Cool
though.
cameras.
But
That'd be
they're
sick.
they're fun. Anyways,
Yeah. DJI, man. I root for them. I want someone to be different. If they can come out and be different, I think everyone they stopped trying to be a better camera. And now everyone wants to have the same cameras with their logo on it.
yeah.
Well, it's kind of it seems like Canon and Sony, they're all kind of like undercutting themselves, kind of like iPhone every year. They release a new model, but they leave out something just so you'll buy the next year's one. And then they keep doing that because they know people keep
Yeah.
DJI has nothing to lose.
Didn't
they
you
can
guys
just
feel
come
like
out and be
5
like,
years ago? Yeah.
Yeah,
here's
it's
the
true.
greatest camera you've ever seen.
It's true. They would kill it. And honestly, like I think you're seeing a lot of fatigue with iPhone. I mean, we have for the last few years. It's like every new iPhone that the jump from the 15 to the 16, worst update.
It was the
ever.
first year I
Stupid.
didn't upgrade
It was so bad, and
since like the 12.
I wouldn't have upgraded unless I had Pocket Filmmaker
Yeah.
and I needed to like
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about it
yeah.
or whatever. But like if I was just buying it out of my own pocket, I'd been like, this is the biggest
No,
waste of
seriously,
money.
the first year I watched the whole presentation. I was just underwhelmed, and I was like,
like
every year I'm
honestly,
like, yeah, I need that new feature.
what they need to do is like every 2 or 3 years at this point. It's like if technology is advancing fast enough to like add more features, hardware features every year, then don't. Like why?
Yeah, I agree.
But there's so much revenue is attached. I actually saw that they stopped the production of the 16. Like typically they would still be like
really?
producing them because the demand is high. But
Just
like
flopped.
they produced so many, they've already produced enough to meet demand. When normally they'd still be making them, which just shows how
Yeah, I saw
little of an
People
update
didn't
it
like
was.
it.
what's his name?
Yeah.
He posted like his iPhone 16 arrived like a month sooner than any other year. Like usually has to wait. Like when he buys it, he has to like wait 'cause it's like
Yeah,
they sent to him immediately. He's like, oh
like no one really
Yeah.
cared.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because I think about like the maxed out version. And usually it's the hottest one. No one bought it. So
really.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did return one. Technically I bought like 6 iPhone 16s
gave a few
because I
away.
gave a few away, and I wanted to have a couple at the office and whatever.
Yeah.
Didn't receive mine.
I didn't get mine either.
Oh, you didn't
no.
get yours?
Interesting.
Ah, it's
Yeah,
probably got-
interesting.
I was
probably
at
got
the
lost
office
in
too,
the
and I
mail.
saw a bunch of
Interesting.
boxes.
No,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
weird. Okay, well, anyways.
No, gingerbread's fine.
6 of them.
No,
yeah,
I-
the cookies are good at least.
I did like the Dune, the desert color one. Terrible. It looked pink. It looked like rose gold. Do you see that?
I don't think I saw that one.
Oh,
Really? The
no.
16? Yeah. Well,
Wait.
like
Oh, you're talking about the color of the phone.
yeah, the color
I
of
thought
the
you were
phone.
talking about like something you shot on the
Oh,
phone.
no,
I was
no,
like,
no,
you went
no,
to the
no.
dunes?
Color of the phone.
Gotcha.
I did go to the dunes, but the color of the phone was just it literally looked rose gold. But in the imagery and everything, like it looked freaking dope. It was like a
Yeah.
dope tan color. I'm like sick.
Apple's good at
And
marketing.
I'm pretty sure everyone who ordered, every dude at least who ordered the desert
Yeah.
color was like, no,
This
I'm
is
not gonna rock
rose
this.
gold.
So I had to return it. So
Dang.
they had a lot of weird issues this year.
Yeah. The blue was the last colored iPhone I bought. That sounds bad. I'm usually black or white guy.
Oh, okay. Why did that sound bad?
Yeah, why blue sound
Never
bad?
mind. Nothing. Like it was the last colorful iPhone I bought.
Mm,
And I was like, blue's cool, but it's just like, I like black and white, it's timeless.
It's true.
it is. Yeah, it's true. I go with the natural titanium
Yeah.
nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah. iPhone needs to. I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just bored by all of it. I'm bored by tech. I want something new.
That's why I think if DJI did hit the market with a new camera, like do a freaking amazing job, and then in 2 or 3 years do
It's
an
crazy
update.
that no one's
Yeah.
going to compete with them on the drone front either.
No one
They
can.
just own it.
Dude,
No
no
one
one's
can.
ahead. And the only way
Or the
that they'll be
gimbals.
able to is if the U.S. government steps
Well,
in.
did you see that DJI just announced today? They said it didn't pass, so like you'll be able to continue buying DJI and using DJI drones.
Oh, there you go.
It didn't pass.
Yeah, because they've
Yeah.
been, and actually, yeah, our rep. I got coffee with our rep at DJI
nice.
in LA, and he was telling, like, I could just tell he was just stressed
Oh, I
about
bet.
that whole situation. This was a few months ago, and
Yeah.
because it's just like it was so dumb what was happening. It's like it's so obviously just the government is just trying to get involved and basically rewind time so that another brand can come in and dethrone DJI. It's like they can't catch up technologically, so they're going to have to use the law that they make themselves to like pull DJI back, and then
The government
Bypass
needs
Let me
a shake up.
just.
Who'd
let
you vote
me-
for?
I mean, seeing what you were posting on
I mean,
Instagram.
if you follow me, it's probably
I'm on your
obvious.
friends
the
list.
dopest
Your
video.
close friends list.
That was the dopest
I think
video.
you know.
That was you, right?
Yeah.
With Athy? Was Athy there?
Or
did Athy do a different
with the
video?
fireworks out of the Lambo.
Like yeah.
I was gonna go to that and I couldn't because I had kids and I needed to.
That was studio thing or FTF thing? was
Sorry, you're
that?
talking about the desert one with the helicopter and the fireworks and the.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, but I was
That was
going
your-
to
that was
go,
your
and then I
shoot,
backed
though,
out
right?
last second. Yes,
Okay. Yeah,
it
that was cool.
going to be yes.
Anyway,
But no, we've done
Yeah.
a lot of stuff with that
it's funny.
car.
I was just making sure I got my facts right with DJI's thing. Yeah, DJI is not banned from
As of
operating.
today.
Yeah, this was 7 hours ago. DJI is
go.
not banned from operating or selling products in the U.S. market. You can continue to use your drones
Good.
without
That would have
disruption.
been absurd.
Isn't Canada the opposite?
I don't know. I don't know about.
Well,
Canada.
they have like it's a weight limit. It's like
That's
under
right. You have to
under
buy the- I think it's the
250
small
grams.
one.
That's the whole reason
So
they've
Peter
been putting out
McKinnon has to
249
have,
Gs.
the
yeah.
249 gram
Yeah.
drones is because I don't think you need a license, and I think legally those are the only ones that are allowed to fly unless you have like a permit or something crazy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I have heard of them trying to like have a little gotcha because if you buy a 249 gram drone, but you get like the propeller guards, it puts it at like 250 something.
Or you
and
put a
they'll
micro SD card in it.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
they'll snipe you for being like, oh, this is 252 grams of your
Literally snipe you
attachment.
out of
So
the air.
probably. I don't know how they are in Canada.
Well, Canada's about to become the 51st state anyway.
saw
That's
that.
right.
So who?
We'll all be saying sorry.
Sorry. In a
Sorry.
big.
Sorry,
I'll be
everybody.
apologizing
big-
and be a little bit nicer. Actually, the Canadian government's in hot water this week.
Yeah,
Are
I think,
they?
did Justin Trudeau resign already? The prime minister?
No, do you follow Be Better?
Is he
No.
back?
Who's
He's
that?
back.
Be
He's
Better?
back.
He came back after 3 months.
Because he got canceled. He got.
He got canceled by the
well,
extreme.
he
Kamala
said something about like
supporters.
Kamala's
He
campaign.
just analyzed her campaign 3 months ago. He said, "This is why." And he's Canadian. He has no skin in the game. Super funny kid.
I saw
but
that he did. He had like
really smart
Are you
guy.
sure he's Canadian?
Yeah, he's Canadian.
But I saw he had like some rich uncle that was in the government or something
Don't
like
think
that
so.
that had some ties.
I don't think so. He analyzed it pretty anecdotally and said, "This is why she will not win." And they need to adjust their strategy. And everyone said, just canceled him over it. And then everything he said came true. But he had to apologize, and he got off the app for like 3 months and came back and explained his own marketing downfall of how he
Yeah.
got canceled, and
Genius.
explained it just really well about
Yeah.
like how like he didn't fit the script at the time. Like and because of that, they boot him off stage basically.
Yeah.
But then then today he uploaded a video about something that happened in the Supreme. I'm not sure what their version of the Supreme Court is in Canada, but something big happened where someone like stormed out.
Well, the finance minister resigned
That's what it was.
already, and she resigned like a
she
few
was
days ago.
Someone, I don't know, we're talking about this, but someone was asked to give a full report.
This is a political
Oh,
podcast.
so
right?
they overspent $60 billion or something,
Crazy.
and so they were asked to give a full report of that. Again, accounting of that.
Mm-hmm.
They threw the report down and ran out of the room.
Wow.
Yeah, they can't and something.
Is there video footage of it?
I don't know, but he just talked about that today. He's like, "What is happening?"
guy
And
turned
the
a
top
good
comment
meme.
was like, "I think everyone's government needs to take a little time out for a second."
Quick
A little
breather.
siesta.
But anyway,
Yeah. Canada and France. France is going through it
yeah,
right now.
Canada's
too.
going through it. Yeah. Anyway, I like Canada. Got a cool inquiry in Canada.
Really?
Hoping to lock in. Yeah.
Nice.
More questions,
Another
please.
question. Yeah, yeah.
Wow, we really
I'm actually
took
really
a
excited for this one
detour
too
on that one.
because
Okay.
both Jake and I, we've known you for a long time. We've seen you run a lot of businesses.
Into the ground.
That's one of your
Ground.
no. That's one of your strengths is that you start
Wait,
businesses, you
what are my
scale them,
strengths?
and then
Like,
you
I run them into the
assess
ground.
and you say, am I going to stick with it or not? Am I going to sell? What's the exit strategy? So like
Yeah.
you're really good at business. So this question
That's really sweet.
is, what is the best business decision you've ever made, and why did you make that decision?
Can we say, I like to say, except for acquiring FTF, because I'm sure that's like,
Yeah,
we've
that's where
hit
my
that one
mind
today.
went. I'm like, that's best one I've done because that was a no-brainer.
Leaving VidOp.
we got to talk about that.
Yeah, I
Later.
think I don't know if I could pinpoint exactly like what it is or exactly when it happened, but I think probably the best business decision I made internally is like being willing to pivot. Like I think that, and I've talked about this a lot actually, especially in Happy Creative coaching, but people are so worried. Like once you like get into an industry and you start a company or a business or you're working for whoever, like you're so afraid to like do something different because you've made that your identity.
Yeah.
It's like you've put yourself in this box. I'm a videographer, or I'm a wedding filmmaker. I do digital marketing, whatever it is. Like you put yourself in this box, and you just get even if things aren't going well, you don't want to change because
Right.
you're afraid of how people are going to perceive you from the outside looking in, right? And so for me, I think specifically like with studio productions, right? Like I had started a production company a few years ago, and overall the company had done well.
Yeah,
It had done
killing
fine,
it. Yeah.
right? But it wasn't like this. It wasn't this thing that I knew I was going to run forever. And I think it was probably around halfway through this last year where I'm like, I have to make a change. And I know it's really hard to like take a step back and just analyze things from like the top down. Like, okay, how are we doing? And do I actually enjoy this? Do I actually want to do this?
Right.
And so I think probably the best decision for me in this last year, at least, was taking a step back and being willing to completely scale back studio productions, knowing that it was going to free up so much more time, mental energy, and just like it was just going to be the best move for me right now. And so I'd say that was good because I use this analogy a lot. It's not much of an analogy, but when you're doing 5 different things, you can only take all 5 of those things about this far. But if you scale that down to just one of those things, you can take it so much farther than you normally would be able to. And for me, that one thing was full-time filmmaker. It's like, let me pull back on these random things that are weighing me down, and let me just focus on our main product. And so,
We talked about it in Spirit last week about
Yeah.
the essentialism, essentially.
yeah,
And just how like this year we feel like we bit off, or last year we feel like we bit off way more than we could chew. And it wasn't that nothing like failed. It was just like, yeah, but imagine if we just kind of focused on 1 or 2 things instead of 5 things.
yeah. And I think too, like we launched several products
Yeah.
this year, and it's partly due to the fact that I was like, okay, what do we do next? Like, what can we do to like shake things up a little bit? But at the end of the day, it's like, well, if I just had put more effort back into full-time filmmaker, the main product, like that would have been just as much worth the time, if not more, than like starting something else on the side, right? And
Sometimes
so
I think the newer things sounds easier too.
it's true. It's more
Shiny
exciting.
object.
It's like
Yeah.
that's why it's so much the first like month or 2 of starting a business is so much more exciting
Right.
than like actually being in the thick of it
Maintaining.
and trying to maintain it and
Scaling.
scale it
Yeah.
and
Monotonous stuff.
we know how that is. We started VidOp,
VidOp?
in
Dude,
college.
how much
Our
money
first-
did-
This
How
is
much
when
did
I
we
become the
sell?
therapist between our next segue, which
Yeah.
is VidOp.
but no, it's true. It's like we started that company and we were stoked. Do you remember that first
Dude,
meeting?
I
we
remember
had?
exactly where I was when you sent me like that recap video. Remember we did like the little interviews in my parents'
yeah.
basement, us like talking about what VidOp is.
Terrible video.
You made like the
The overexposed white background.
yeah,
full
yeah,
t-shirt.
exactly. Yep. You made that recap with Illenium in the background. It's hype of us like flying the drone. I remember exactly where I was when I watched that video, and I remember thinking, man, this is it. We're business owners.
sick.
We're business owners.
Yeah, well, I mean, and like I had just gotten off of my 2-year mission, and like a week or 2 later, I rounded up the gang. I was like, guys, let's start a
Yeah.
production company. And it was you, me, my brother, and then Jake Stedman.
Yeah, Jake.
And we hop on a call, and I'm like just
Let's
painting
do
this vision of like, guys, we're gonna make this the sickest production company. No one had any idea what they were doing. With 4 people involved that definitely did not need to be involved.
Nope.
It could have been just me, or it could have been just you and me, and we probably would have figured it out.
Yeah.
Just the exact same. It probably wouldn't have worked,
No.
but we could have saved some money and some time, and
We
you know.
could've.
But yeah, it's so much more exciting getting it going, and I think the same thing applies when you already have a business, like launching a side product or a side hustle or something. It's exciting, and granted, like I don't think that's an unhealthy thing to do, because I think you do want to like reignite that spark and get that entrepreneur spirit back. But you gotta remember what your core
Yeah.
business actually is.
Yeah.
Don't let it sidetrack you too much.
Well, back in the day, I mean, when we did VidOp, right? Like, what did we have in terms of followers? Like 100 something followers. It wasn't a big thing. It was just between us.
Yeah. Well, I know. I mean, I probably had like 400.
Yeah.
on
Who's
Instagram,
counting?
so,
You know,
yeah.
you still have it logged in on your Instagram.
Yeah.
Really?
Let me see. Yeah.
But
Still growing.
but now that like you're in the public and you have a big following and you're still launching things, some things do better, some things do worse, some things flop completely.
Yeah.
How do you handle failures now that you have a lot of eyeballs on you, as opposed to, you know, back in the day when you could just pretend nothing happened?
Yeah. I think that, I mean, to be honest, like the like failures that we've like seen in the last year, they weren't like astronomical failures. Like I say failures almost like humbly, because it's like, yes, like they didn't like work out the way we anticipated, but like I don't believe that like failures really exist. I think you just learn from doing different things. And so like you could look at like Happy Creative Coaching and be like, that was kind of a failure. But at the end of the day, it wasn't a failure. We helped a ton of people who were in that program. It generated a lot of revenue. Like there was a lot of upsides to it. It was a failure in the way that I could see that over time it was going to keep getting smaller and smaller. And so I knew I needed to make an adjustment to it, which is why we eventually decided to bring it back to full-time filmmaker. But like, I wouldn't say it was a total failure. It was just a really, really good learning experience for us, right? And so I don't know, like I feel like for me, like dude, I used to be so sensitive. I don't know if you guys remember, like a few years ago, I was very sensitive, like overly, and I was very worried about what people thought about me, you know? And now as we've stepped into 2023, 2024, and I've had to do a lot more myself. I haven't really been like an employee. I've been the employer. Like you have to not worry what people think about you specifically, like you personally. What I do care about is what people think about our business and how they perceive our business and what value they're getting from that, right? Because that's so much more important to me than someone like not liking me on social media or something, right? I'm like, I don't freaking care. Like it's okay. Like you don't know, like you don't like me because you don't really actually know me.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine. And I can't control how you feel about me, but in some way I can control how you perceive our business. And if we keep putting resources and energy into making it a really good product, then like that's I'm doing the best I can. If you still don't happen to like it, don't buy it. It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't take that personally. So I feel like you kind of have to separate your business and yourself as a person, you know?
I feel like for me, confidence comes a lot faster when I'm succeeding in something too. When I'm being true to like what I genuinely want to be doing. Like at FTF, I knew I was like, I had a lot of confidence and a lot of balls because making Wedding Video Pro, like even though like I look back at Wedding Video Pro and I think like what an embarrassing, course. Just because like I just didn't, I think about
on, man.
what you just critiqued me on of that video. That was a Jake that made Wedding Video Pro.
It's true.
So it's just kind of like, it's just I look back and I think like I just didn't know what I didn't know yet. But I had so much confidence because there are people who were even lower than me who were like, this is changing my life.
Yeah.
And I just ignored everyone above me. Some people bled through and it hurt. But like, I was like, no, I had so much confidence. And then that confidence started to wane when like I started realizing I was trying to be someone I wasn't really trying to be just to fit in with like, whether it was like Parker's expectations or the community's expectations, or me wanting to try something different or be you or be Parker. And that's where my confidence fell off, is because I wasn't really being me. And then my confidence just got right back up once I decided like, I want to get back into weddings. I love doing weddings.
Yeah.
And I've never had more confidence doing weddings. I know I'm not the best at weddings, but I think that humility also gives me more confidence, knowing that like I'm here, even though there's way more people above me. I just still have the confidence. I know where my place is.
Totally. I think you'd be surprised the amount of freedom that comes from like not looking side to side every step of the way.
Yeah, well, I feel like I learned really early on, probably because Parker threw me right into the public eye.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you gotta ignore people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like there's 99 comments and you're focusing on the one bad one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, yeah, is it feedback or is it just hateful?
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's just hateful. Then why you care?
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. I don't really. Yeah.
Because good feedback is always constructive.
Totally. And again, like even good feedback would like make me sick to my stomach before, like a few years ago.
Yeah, I remember that about
know?
you. I do feel like you've really gotten very confident these last few years.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
confidence, but it's also just like no one needs to know all the inner workings
It's no
and
one's
details
business.
of my
Yeah.
life or how I operate, everything else. Like at the end of the day, again, I want to make a good product, so like that's top priority. But yeah, like I don't care
Yeah.
about little comments anymore. They don't bother me. But you're right. Like at the end of the day, you got to do what drives you.
Yeah.
Like when I've had coaching calls with people on Happy Creative, it's one of the first questions I ask. They're like, "Hey, like I have a production company. I'm trying to do, I'm trying to grow this. I have a client who wants me to do these types of videos." And I always ask them like, "What do you want to do?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "What excites you?" Because like, yes, there's always going to be opportunity to make money in some way, but is that exciting to you? Do you actually want to do that? Because the moment you step into doing something that's not true to you and like that's in your domain that you're confident in, like definitely put yourself out there and get out of your comfort zone. But if you genuinely just hate it, don't waste your time. Like do something that you actually want to do, even if it means it's going to be a little bit of a slow burn to pick that up and get some traction with that thing. And you'd be surprised. There's a lot of people who are just stuck doing stuff that they don't actually like.
But why do we listen to them? You know what I mean? Because those people are always project their problems onto you.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, we take their critique as like valid. It's like, no, like I'm not going to come down to where you are
Mm-hmm.
just because you're mad you can't get to where I want to be. Like,
Yeah.
I'm over that.
Oh,
I'm
totally.
so over it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know. It's interesting. I think being a business owner now is very different than it was 50
It
years ago, right? And it's easier in some ways and it's harder in some ways.
Yeah.
You get a lot more critique nowadays. And again, with full-time filmmaker and a lot of, everyone who watching this video who runs a wedding video business, there's a lot of eyes on you,
Yeah.
right? And you got to make sure your work is up to the right caliber. But at the end of the day, like you got to go with your gut. And I
Yeah.
think that's probably one of the most important lessons I've learned is like just go with what feels right. And yeah, I don't know.
Well, who are some? I'm about to give you a massive compliment, by the way. This might be one of the biggest compliments.
Probably the only compliment.
Because
you've
we're
ever
really
given me.
close friends and really close guy friends don't really give each other compliments, right?
Yeah, hit record.
There are some creators that are always a step ahead of all other creators in terms of the things they're filming, how they're filming, the videos they release, the story. One person for me is Sam Colder. He has been a step ahead of everyone for a long time. Okay? Every video, even till now, the one
Just
he
telling about this at lunch.
the one he released like
Oh,
what,
yeah,
like a month ago was just like he's a step ahead. Like you didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
The teal and orange thing, way ahead of its time.
Yeah.
I view you on Instagram and social media and the things that you make, like setting the tone for people to follow. Like you're just one step ahead of everyone, and people try to copy that. So who are some creators that you follow or like sources of inspiration for you to always kind of stay ahead and not burn out?
Like I feel like, and I think I discovered this about myself like 2 weeks ago because
Oh wow.
there's what
off the press.
I'm about to say. All right,
Okay.
hot off the press. Yes. Like I think so. Sam Colder has always been a big inspiration for me. And I love his style, and he's evolved too, right?
Yeah.
Sam Colder today is not the same Sam Colder
No.
from 5, 6, 7 years
But it's
ago.
been a great evolution.
But
it
it's
hasn't
perfect.
been.
Yeah, he's done a great job, and
Mhm.
it's like it's just the right amount of change, I think, right? Like it works really well. Someone that I look up to right now a lot is actually Gox. I don't know if you've seen Gox on
Gox
YouTube.
art. I was about to say, yeah.
So I love his stuff, and I think that what I've come to realize, like I just barely made. I published a YouTube video like 2 days ago, and it was a new webinar as well. I made 2 versions. One that was like you watch it for free. We run an ad to it, and you can watch this free training, and the other one's just a free YouTube video. And I made this webinar, and it was inspired by Gox. A lot of the shots and a little bit of the style, at least originally. Like I put together this whole script and this shot list, and it was very much Gox influenced. And once I started editing it, it was like I can't do it that way. Like I can't.
He's so good at editing.
He's really, really good. And there's certain things that I'm like, I just don't know how to do that right now. And I can't take too much time trying to figure it out. But it was also like, I couldn't help but like add my own personal influence to that style.
Yeah.
right? Like there's just things that I do that I've done for years that if I make a new video, those different elements are always going to be in that
No
video.
matter how
like
hard
no
you
matter
try,
how
yeah.
hard I try, it's going to come out, you know. And I don't know if I've done anything special to like have these like little characteristics in my content that like you would recognize and see, but it's taken years of just making stuff nonstop. And I don't know, like I feel like I looked up to people, but I've never been able to like fully copy it because, you know, unknowingly my own style will shine through regardless.
Yeah.
You know, does that make
Yeah.
sense?
No, that makes perfect sense. I think that's kind of like a misconception when people start out. It's like, what's your style? You need to find your style, and like you find it without even trying. Just by making content,
Yeah.
you'll naturally kind of fall into a specific style.
You'll always have
You
your own
always will.
preferences and
Yeah.
stuff that
you
are
just
gonna
can't
peek through.
change.
Yeah, it's always going to be
You
there.
touch it, and it looks like you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's funny. I remember to echo Nate's comment, like I feel like 5 years ago when you first joined the team, we had a team meeting. I don't think anyone really understood what you were trying to say.
This
But
is
you
Jake
said-
apologizing.
Was
No.
this before or after I got the Dundee that said least valued opinion?
Man, during your sensitive era too,
Yeah,
that must have hurt.
No, that's fine. That's funny.
Okay.
Still
cried,
remembers
but
it.
it was
Yeah.
fun.
You said I don't want to jump on trends. I want to be the curve. I think that's what you said. I want to be the curve.
Did you say that?
I did say that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty
5 years
dope
ago.
line.
That was a
yeah.
And I
pretty
don't
good
think
one.
everyone. I understood what you were trying to say. I don't think anyone else really understood what you were trying to say.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't want to jump on these trends. I want to be the trend. I want to be the curve.
Mm-hmm. How'd you remember that?
I always think about that.
Just-
Every time we release a video, I'm like, this is Landon being the curve.
Wow.
All
That's
the
really
time.
thoughtful. I mean, and I don't think we've been the curve like all the time,
Yeah,
right?
some good curves.
But it's the I'm very curvy. But that's I mean that it's actually it's funny you say that. I think that is very very accurate. Like if you do want to like pick up on social media or you know or hit a new audience or something, like you do have to be ahead of the curve. Not only be ahead of the curve, but be the curve. Like create that trend yourself. And I think a lot of the stuff that we're doing in 2025 with starting a new show, bringing Parker back, whatever, like the reason that this came to be, first off, the idea to do a show was Parker's idea, and I have
Nate doesn't know about the show yet.
I'll tell you about the show. I have never seen Parker
Found out about the show yesterday.
so excited. Parker is like so stoic most of the time, but I've never like actually seen him like so stoked on this idea.
This is going to come out on the 2nd. Are you going to announce the show on the 1st?
Yeah.
So just tell me what the show is right now.
Okay, I was going to. I was
Okay.
building up to it.
Okay. Yeah.
So
So
the-
keep building up.
The show. Imagine like you know Daily Wire.
Yeah.
So like you know on YouTube like you have like your show. It's kind of like a podcast style show.
Yeah.
And they have like a portion of that show that goes up on YouTube. But then you can also like go to Daily Wire and
Subscribe to
subscribe, and
the
you get the full
library
show
and
and other
yeah, yeah.
stuff, right? So like this idea came from Parker because he and I were at lunch last week and we were talking about kind of the influencer world, especially in the creative industry right now. It's like every YouTuber gets the same product before it comes out, and they make the same review and they say the exact same things, which is fine. Like that's just the evolution.
worked.
That's just what happens, right? And like we've been talking about with camera gear, like there's just a new thing coming out every single week. It seems like right now. But because of that, you know, you go on YouTube and you want to watch a review, and it's like, well, are they telling the truth, or are they just buttering me up and like telling me it's a great product?
They paid for.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because you don't really get like the truth, right? And so this idea came from a conversation I had with Parker, and we were like, something has to change. You got to do something different, and like that's what like being the curve means. I think in a lot of ways, it's like this is where the industry is going. Everyone's sick of having to wade through all the BS reviews, and I'm guilty of doing that too. I'm not going to pretend like it's not me. So like, what can we do to switch it up and to do a candid
FTF Plus.
FTF Plus, a streaming service?
Full circle.
No. It's a candid show where we can like it's like we're not being paid to say anything. It's not sponsored by the camera companies or anything. It's just a candid show where we can just talk about stuff quickly and like as soon as stuff is announced, right? And so that's the whole like
Like a podcast or
like a
what?
podcast style,
Okay.
right? Yeah. So I think the idea is we're going to do it around a round table on my
Gotcha.
psych wall, and just mics in front of all of us, and we have.
See Edward Lee's round table.
Yeah, that's
it's
what I'm
super-
picturing.
Gosh,
yeah.
that looks so
Looks
good.
so
It does
good.
look good, yeah.
Ugh.
And so it'll be produced by most likely Kyle Abbott.
Nice.
actually. So
Nice.
he'll produce the whole thing. He'll have show notes for us before it even
great.
begins. So like it'll be like a really well produced thing.
Love Kyle.
But it's like if we're gonna jump into this next era full-time filmmaker, like we got to do something that's different, and that's the perfect way to have like some really
That's
raw,
dope.
candid conversations that aren't sponsored and overly produced, and you know, like,
Yeah.
So I'm really really excited about
That's
that.
really cool.
But yeah, that's the show.
Subscribe
Is it-
to it. Free on YouTube. Full length
Yeah.
subscription.
Free on YouTube, and then so the way we'll do it is we'll live
If it's
stream.
FTF plus, I want royalties.
Okay. We'll
Let's talk about this.
kind of
right now.
like camouflage, right?
Yeah, Spencer just texted me that yesterday. I remember camouflage. I'm just like, oh, yeah.
Did you just wake up in the middle of the night and remember that?
No, we were
Spencer?
on a shoot. Oh, Spencer? Yeah, no idea.
Yeah, I remember that. No. The idea is that we live stream the shows to the Facebook group, so
Oh, cool.
full-time filmmaker members can watch and they can participate in the chat and
Oh,
whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
So like, if you're a member, like you are part of the show and you watch the full thing there inside of the Facebook group.
Love it.
Yeah.
And then if you're not a member, then you can watch a portion of the show on YouTube. It'll still be a
Subscribe to the
great
show.
show, right? But it's like if you want to get more involved, you join
Yeah.
full-time
And
filmmaker.
communicate, yeah.
I have noticed that like some of the best like podcasts, like Andrew Huberman, for example, he does his really valuable thing, but he says subscribe for like $5 a month to Huberman. I don't know what it's called, but he has a whole library.
Huberman Labs.
What's the
Human
thing Sam
Lab.
has, that website? It's not like Kajabi. It's like
Patreon?
Patreon.
Patreon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of guys do that.
Yeah.
I feel like
yeah. That's a great.
they do
example.
like bi-monthly episodes, and then if you're in their Patreon, you get an extra 2 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like exclusive.
But those are
behind the
like
scenes sort of
communicating
thing.
with the viewers. Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's an awesome idea.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I think
That's great.
we'll switch it
A lot
up
of fun things.
very nicely.
Yeah.
And again, it's a way for us to kind of be the curve, at least in like the creative industry.
Yeah.
So,
Call it the curve.
and we're on a cycle that has a curve.
So I was thinking,
Oh.
about, did you guys watch Mr. Beast's recent podcast launch?
No.
No, he launched a podcast.
I think so, on his second channel.
No,
Or he did a podcast with somebody. He talked about like just, which he has never done before, talked about like his formula for virality, like in
because I've
depth.
seen him on like Colin and Samir. Is this like a
I
different thing?
love Conan.
I don't know. Was
Oh.
it this week?
Well, no, he's done Colin and Samir shows for
Oh, yeah,
a few
no,
years.
I
so
don't
this
know.
Is this is.
I really
totally
don't know.
different-
I only saw the clip of him, and I watched the full clip. And he said everything comes back to one question. Their whole team, all of his creative directors, all of his producers, it comes back to one question, and he calls it the purple cow.
The purple cow.
Yeah.
What a name.
Someone talked about, he learned it from someone. He said, you drive down the road, you look out your window, you see a herd of cows. You don't care. You've seen them 1,000 times, they're cows. You don't tell anybody you saw cows. You just saw them on the road, whatever. So you drive down the road, you see a purple cow. You'll look twice.
Mhm.
You'll look again. You'll think about it. You'll tell people about it. You'll share it with people. You maybe go take a picture of it, show it to somebody. He said, everything we do, we ask, what's our purple cow this month?
That's pretty
So
cool.
what's something that
Interesting.
everyone already has, cow,
Yeah,
and how do we make it purple?
interesting.
It's so interesting. That's the whole premise of like every video is like for example, his like $1 versus $1 million, whatever. It's like, okay, what's the purple cow in this? And something just so out of this world.
What was the purple cow in that one?
I think that one was like Justin Timberlake coming,
Oh, okay.
like something just like
pretty
Justin
big cow.
Timberlake in a YouTube video
Yeah,
showing us around this mansion, like just that no one could even fathom, like
That's
just things like
interesting.
that.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it's like the other way around. It was like the $1. It was like a shack in the ocean that he bought for $1. It's just like what's the purple cow? What's like, and so I think about being the curve. It's Mr. Beast too. Like he has really just 4 ideas
Yeah, and
that he
does
just
them over.
recirculates in
Yeah.
different versions of a purple cow.
Mhm.
That makes you
Totally.
like look at it, look again,
Yeah.
share it. And I feel like the Squid Games episode, I think it was like Squid Games was hot, but then he came along and did an equally big production. That was kind of the purple cow. It's kind of the size of it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is reality TV in a way, but this is
Oh my gosh.
different.
Yeah.
Like it's just yeah.
Yeah. I'd say,
Yeah.
yeah.
Made
Totally.
me think about that purple cow.
I'm gonna remember that next time
Yeah,
we're
the
recording
purple
this
cow.
new show. Like, what's our purple cow this episode?
It's like what?
No, you should have a podcast. I just gave him a free idea. The purple cow. I'd listen to it.
That's funny.
See, the purple cow as a podcast title
See-
is a purple cow.
It is.
See, when I was
We just
growing up,
talked about it.
a purple cow was grape juice and ice cream in a cup.
Oh,
Oh, it's a legit thing.
Yeah, it's like a root beer float, but it's grape
with
juice.
grape
Swig
juice.
would have. Yo, does Swig
Maybe.
have grape juice?
I used to work at Swig. You know what?
Got
I
fired.
do remember that.
I did get fired. Yeah,
Landon
got
can't
fired
hold the
from
job.
Swig. No, I really can't, dude. I am unemployable.
Needs to work for himself.
I have to. I'm just
Life
so
demands it.
so self-centered. I have to.
Yeah,
So
perfect cow.
self-centered.
Other questions from our
Yeah.
community?
Let's just rapid fire here. Okay.
Sounds
We're
good.
gonna
What time,
rapid
what
fire
time
a
we got?
couple. 1:45.
Do we have you on a clock?
I don't know.
Usually these things go for about 3 hours.
Oh, this is Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Trying to be
I got to be back in my studio at 3. So
No, we'll
easy.
No, we'll wrap it up. Okay, rapid fire here. This is from one of our good buddies, Axel. Okay, he said, "Would you be down to be doing one of your infamous pro versus pro videos against a smaller, less experienced creator? Nate Taylor took you down in the
No, he
fight
didn't.
scene. In the,
no, he didn't.
Nate Taylor
I'm gonna
took you
stop you right
down
there.
in the fight scene video shootout. Parker took you down in the real estate video
He did take me
shootout.
down in the real estate video.
I
Did
want to
he?
make it 0-3. Winner gets a free subscription to Full Time Filmmaker, which you own. So
This
you
is
could
classic
win.
rage baiting.
You could win and get your own free subscription.
Yeah.
A lot on the line. Are you open to doing more Pro v Pro?
I'm open to doing more Pro v Pro. But no, I'm not going to sign a contract where I have to do it with
Sorry, Axel.
Sorry, Axel.
Sorry, Axel. You're probably a great guy, but I'm going to say
He's
no
a
on
good
this
kid.
one.
He's a good kid.
Okay, next question is from Roni. I believe that's how you pronounce it. It's how has the journey been so far, taking the mantle from a cool guy like Parker and making FTF even cooler?
That's
nice.
a really nice thing to
That
say.
was a really nice thing to say.
I mean we've talked a lot about it, right? I mean at the end of the day it's a very complex task.
Probably pretty intimidating when you first
Yeah.
made that decision.
For sure. I mean, it's such an unconventional business to take over. It has an individual who's the head of the business, and me hopping in and kind of replacing him is tough. And frankly, my wife actually pointed this out last night. She's like, she was talking to me. She's like, when you came in and you took over Full Time Filmmaker from Parker, there was a lot of excitement. People are like, oh, sweet, like there's more stuff that's going to be happening. There's more activity. Like this is great, right? And then over time, it's like the excitement kind of went down. And now here we are at the end of the year, and we're announcing like the whole OG team is back. And now that excitement is back again, right? And so initially when I took it over, it was very exciting and I felt very, very confident in everything. And my confidence hasn't really like gone down necessarily. We've just learned a lot. And so it had a really strong start, kind of a tough middle as we were figuring things out. And I think we're ending it off very, very strong.
Like, hi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, made it really cool. Your style is really good.
Thanks.
It's really fun to watch.
Stop.
Okay, this one's from James. He says,
Jimbo.
other than full-time filmmaker, what is a way you are personally helping others learn, not just technical stuff, but developing their creative muscles? Who have you collaborated with recently for some upcoming content?
How am I helping people flex their creative?
Yeah, I guess there's two
muscles
questions
with
in
them?
there. Like, other than FTF, how do you help people flex their creative muscles, develop the creative side of themselves?
Or do you?
Or do you not do anything outside of FTF?
I mean, FTF takes up the majority of my time by
It
far.
does.
No, I mean, I've been reading up a lot, and again, like we've talked about, I've learned a ton in the last year in terms of like running a company and managing people. And I used to consider myself more of a solopreneur in a lot of ways, where it's like, it's just easier for me to do it. I'll just do it myself, kind of a vibe, which is totally fine. If that's the type of business you want to run. And now I've kind of moved into a position where I want to inspire my team and I want to like put the ball in their court. And I've done it a lot more lately than I've ever done it before, of like, okay, this is your domain. Like, I want you to own this. Like, I give like Bryson the YouTube channel and social media content. I'm like, I don't want you to feel like you have to run everything by me. In fact, I don't want you to run most things by me unless it's absolutely crucial that I know, like, you own this. Like, I'm much more interested in creating a company culture and a vibe where people are motivated and excited and they're having a good time, than them feeling like I'm just, over their shoulder and looking to see what they're doing, right? And so in terms of like flexing your creative muscles, I'm much more interested in just letting people try new things and figure out what excites them and what they think is going to work, than micromanage them myself. And so with my team, I feel like we've done a pretty good job at letting people just run with whatever they want to and try new things.
Great for longevity too.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
Or if Bryce wants to train someone to replace him or just
Totally.
whatever.
Yeah, like your time is so limited. There's only so many hours in the day. If I had to do every single operation of Full Time Filmmaker, I'd probably be dead right now. Like
Yeah,
it
for sure.
wouldn't be possible. And you look at someone like an Elon Musk. It's like people were talking about like a month ago when they launched like the Cyber Cab, and then they like caught the missile, and then he was at like that Trump
Robots,
rally
too.
or whatever,
Yeah.
the
Everything,
robots,
right.
and they're like, how does he do it all? And it's like,
Compartmentalization.
yeah, like obviously he has just a baller team that he lets do pretty much whatever they want. And yeah, he takes the credit, but he also takes the heat when things go wrong. And so I think that's really the biggest thing. It's like the most successful people in the world don't do everything. In fact, they only do a few things.
Did you see the guy? Just a quick tangent about Elon. Love what you said. Who said what Elon did when he walked into Twitter?
When he had the sync and everything.
No, after that, when he like, went to every single employee,
I don't know.
it was this one guy. He came to the office. Elon had been up for like 36 hours straight, red eyes, and he like looked over at one of the guys like, "What's Elon been doing?" He's like, "He hasn't slept. He's been taking 5 minutes with every single employee, no matter what their job is or how high or low they are. He has 5 minutes with them, asking them, what do you do? What do you contribute to Twitter?" And he said, and honestly, a lot of them couldn't even answer the question, and they fired themselves. And so he's talking about like with the government. He's like, there's no law that prohibits the president himself from walking into every government building and saying, "What do you do?"
Yeah.
And if they can't answer that question,
Yeah.
they leave.
Totally. Yeah.
Just fascinating. And so I think the principle is Elon's created this culture of like, if you're not here to work, go home. Efficiency.
Exactly.
I'll let you do your thing, but you have to do it well.
Totally. And I believe in the philosophy of lean and mean, right? It's like you could, because I think at Peak Studio, we probably had, 15 to 20 people between, 1099s, W-2s, whatever, working. And it's like, how essential is everybody? And it's not that like people weren't doing anything. It's just like, do we actually need them to like run this? And so I went lean and mean in terms of like letting a lot of people go and like scaling down my team and then doing a lot of things myself. And now the way I look at lean and mean is like we have a handful of people, but they are all essential to the operations, and they have a very distinct job that they
Very
do.
clear mandate.
You know, so yeah, I don't know.
I think that's the thing. Like when, especially in this industry, a lot of people want to start like a creative studio or production agency, and the ultimate goal is just to be able to tell people at their Christmas or Thanksgiving dinners, "Yeah, I own a company of 100 people, or we do this much," and it's kind of like this flex of how many people you employ,
Yeah,
or how many employees you have, and it's kind of backwards because it's like, why is that a flex? Because big companies want to be lean and agile, and to make a change when you have so many people is very hard.
trust me, overhead is not a good thing.
It's
a
not
lot
a
of
fun
overhead is
thing.
not a good thing to have.
No.
Like and when people are flexing having a lot of employees, like if you have a very successful company too, and all those employees are essential, great. Like great, yeah, you can flex that all day long. But if you have 100 employees and your business is like hemorrhaging, then that's not a flex at all.
No, not at all.
Like it's an ego thing.
Yeah.
You're so much more interested in being the employer of those 100 people than you are of like actually having a successful company itself, which is super backwards.
Yeah.
That's why Hollywood's so bloated. Just everyone has the smallest, most micro job.
I know.
Did you see Matt Damon talked about working with Christopher Nolan on his first film? He had just come off of The Martian and something else. Went to Christopher Nolan's set. He's like, I was shocked. He's like, it felt like a student film. Said there was no crew. Like it was the most skeleton, bare bones crew.
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan himself was wearing like 8 hats. He's like, there was one time where Christopher Nolan was directing, cam-opping, and pulling focus. He's like, there's no video village. There's no chairs. You can't watch the take back. You can't see, did I do a good take? Let me do it again. Because Chris is like, no, I'm the director. That was a good take. Moving on.
Wow.
You can't like rewatch it. Like you have to just come in and perform and trust that Chris is doing his job.
Totally. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, Chris wore like 8 hats.
Yeah.
There's no assistance to everyone. Like it felt like a student film.
Now you have unions, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's what's ridiculous. I've talked about this so many times with different people, but it's like you have somebody on set who literally their only job is there's someone who their job is to lay down like a cable or a cord for the light, and then another person's job is to grab the tape
and
tape
gaff
it
it.
down. And it's like, you tell me the person who's laying the cable can't also grab a roll of tape and tape it down. Like, and it is what it is. And like, it's good that people are employed, right? But like, it's just so bloated. It's like, you don't need all of
it's
that.
the virtue taken too far. It's like you think, well, if you do that one thing, you'll be more efficient. It's like true, but you can still do both.
Yeah.
You don't have to Yeah,
Dude,
outsource every part of your job.
I got roasted in the comments once when I was I did a thing for DJI at NAB in Vegas. So I spoke on stage for them about what was it? It was about their new Focus
Was it
system.
this year, 2024?
Yeah, I think it was
Past
like
year?
February.
Yeah.
And I did this whole presentation, and I was talking about using this product, which was a Focus system that had their what do you call that?
LiDAR?
Yeah, the lidar system integrated into it, and I just made a comment, and as I was talking, I was like, with having lidar and this Focus system, like you don't need as big of a crew. Like you can have a much smaller crew and accomplish
Everyone
just as
loses
much.
their minds.
Just
Yeah,
threaten a bunch
dude.
of jobs.
And
Yeah.
No way.
and DJI Pro, like the Instagram page, posted that video, and then all the comments were
Oh
like,
my god.
"This guy is the reason that our industry is dying." Blah blah blah
What
blah blah.
industry
And
are
I'm
you
like,
talking about?
okay. I'm like, guys, there's so much opportunity out there. Like, if you're fully dependent on your job being the person being the one to tape down a cable, like you should probably try a little harder to like bring value to a film set or do something on your own, right? Like start your
Absolutely.
own production. I don't know, like. So I just got roasted for that one comment. I'm like, I think you completely missed the
They did.
point.
point
of
of
Well,
the
they're
what
still
you were
threatened by
saying.
it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's just yeah. We talked about this one time. It's like back like 100 years ago, black and white TVs
Mm-hmm.
threatened radio. Radio people were upset. Then color TVs came out. Black and white TV companies got upset and revolted.
yeah.
And then green screens came out.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone who had production sets was upset.
Yeah.
And then LED walls came out,
Virtual
and the green screen
production,
community got
yeah.
upset. So it's just like you either evolve or you die. It's just like
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. It's innovation. Like you have
yeah.
to
If we
keep
listen
moving.
to those people, we still have silent pictures
Mm-hmm.
because the silent picture people revolted when audio happened.
Totally. Yeah. And frankly, dude, I think full-time filmmaker in a lot of ways ruffled tons of feathers
Oh, absolutely.
in the creative industry. But
Oh, it 100%.
but it
is.
introduced millions of people who had a passion to make content to this industry at an entry point that was so much more attainable than going through film school and whatever, right? It opened up a whole new world. And frankly, if that hadn't happened, if full-time filmmaker didn't happen, or other courses and knowledge and education that had come about, and cameras being more accessible, like the demand for video would not be what it is right now either, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's like, yeah, some people might be hurting initially as new stuff is being introduced, but at the end of
Adapt.
the day, it's going to open up a whole new world
Right.
of opportunity.
Yeah, I always think too. I used to get so sensitive about Wedding Video Pro. There's these big haters in our community, just these 50-year-old guys who have been doing weddings for decades, who are just so hateful towards me and publicly in Facebook groups about how stupid I was and how inexperienced I shouldn't be teaching anyone, even though my product wasn't for them. It was for people lower than me.
Yeah.
But they were so rude, and I took so much offense to that. I was like, you know what, they're right. I should be teaching. And then Parker's like, no, just because you're level 3 or 4, like you're helping the 1s, 2s, and 3s. Like it doesn't matter. Like or you're level 8, you're helping the 7s. Like whatever. Like, and it took me a while. And then one day I just kind of had this epiphany. I'm like, how silly these men are projecting their own insecurities on me. And it became so obvious that that's what was happening. And they felt so threatened by some 21-year-old kid teaching basics to beginners
Yeah.
that they felt threatened
Yeah.
after 50 years of doing the same job.
That's usually where it
Because
stems
they hadn't
from.
grown in 50 years.
Yeah.
They were doing the same thing.
And they'll never admit it,
no,
but that's what it is.
that's why they're threatened. Is
Yeah.
that they're nearing retirement age with no plan.
Yeah.
And then some kid comes along with a passive income idea, and they just feel so threatened by it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And once I had that thought, I was like,
have
I
to adapt,
didn't
man.
care.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Let them hate.
why do I care about you?
Yeah. No, it just goes to show that you got a product and something that, is actually going to work. People are, if
So
the old
funny.
people are threatened by it,
Yeah.
you got a good thing
So,
going.
but they don't go quietly,
No.
but they are dying out. I can't wait for them to be dead
Oh, man.
once again.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
fun.
was about to say that's also a rehearsed line. I've heard
Yeah.
that before.
Said that before. I can't wait.
I
Can't wait for them
can't
to be
wait
done.
for him to be.
Yeah, die.
Um,
Metaphorically,
yeah, of course, of course.
Oh.
I don't wish death on anyone.
Well, all the other questions that I was looking through, we've already answered them just in conversation. A lot of people were asking about like what's the future of FTF? Like what does it feel like? What is it, things like that? And I think we've
This next year is going to be so good because, like I said, we have a full year under our belt
Yeah.
of Parker stepping away, me adding some products, and figuring out what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
And now it's like, hey, we can officially step into the perfect hybrid of OG FTF and what we've been able to build over the last year,
Yeah.
right? And it's gonna be so fun, man. So
So
excited.
if we catch up in a year, let's say we bring you on next January,
December.
January
January.
Oh,
That's right.
2026.
Okay, sure.
What are we going to be celebrating?
Almost 30, you and I.
Dang.
Be a month away from 30.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so old.
Were you 25? How old are you?
He's
25?
27? You're 27,
I'm
right?
28.
You're 28.
I just turned
You
28 in
yeah,
just
you just turned
October.
28.
Yeah.
You're behind.
You guys 29?
28.
Turning 29.
Turn 29.
February.
Wow, old farts. I mean, I don't know. My hope is that when Parker handed me FTF, it was on its way out.
Yeah.
Like it was low in terms of like revenue, new students coming in. Like there wasn't a lot of activity. This last year, there's a lot more activity in different areas, right? But it was me forcibly launching new things and trying to like revive and stimulate the company as a whole, right? My hope is that in January of 2026, we hop in and we have like the perfect machine just running smoothly. And there
Figure it
is,
out.
and it's not us sporadically trying to add new things to keep it alive. It's no, we have a solid community and a solid flow of new people coming in, and everyone loves it. That would be my
It's a
my
great
goal.
one. It's a clear mandate.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite non-work related thing you're doing right now? For a while, you were posting your one-wheel videos every single day. You're just riding around your neighborhood,
Oh yeah.
right? And that was
great.
that was
Buying
kind of
and
like
selling
your
dogs,
personal
maybe?
time.
Buying and selling dogs. Is that what you just said?
You have
pretty
bought
good
a
at it.
lot of dogs.
I had.
and
Oh,
you
that's
sell
right.
a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
Kind of Landon's
After you
pastime.
own them.
It really is.
That's a
That's
nice
one-
hobby.
Takes
you
it for a
got.
test run.
I
sells
think-
it.
Do you flip the dogs? Do you make a profit?
I make.
Do you
I
flip 'em?
lose money on.
You
these
lose
dogs.
so much money on dogs. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Some people
I
lose
did the
money
math
on
of my dog's
cars and-
lifespan. Could have been a college tuition for my daughter.
Are you serious?
Oh, dead. Serious.
Oh my god. Why do you pause on dead?
I'm dead.
No,
Serious.
I say I think I'm a dog person, and then I get a dog, and then like a month later, I'm like, I can't. I'm not a dog
No
person.
one's really a dog person.
Did it figure? Was
love
it
the
your
idea
third
of
dog that you figured that out?
Yes,
Rest
No,
in peace.
I gave that
Scout.
dog to my assistant, my
To
former
Mo, right?
assistant, actually, and
She's
been
thriving.
very cared for. Yes,
Yeah,
like so
thriving.
much,
What she
and that's
deserves.
the thing. I didn't feel
Yeah.
bad giving
Yeah.
her to
Right.
my assistant because I knew she would
trust.
take
I came in
so much
studio
better
one
care.
time and it was little Scout just thriving peacefully
Yeah,
in her,
so
her new world.
her name was Scout, and then she renamed her Butters.
Butters.
Scout's her dead name.
Scout's her dead name, and now she's called Butters, and
Hmm.
it's weird. No, I think what's most exciting for me right now, just outside of work. So what did you say?
No, I said Butters.
Oh, okay. Outside of work is honestly just being a dad.
Yeah.
And kids.
Oh, I hear
and-
that.
You hear? Hey,
Hey,
I used to always tell Jake, "Hey,
preaching to the choir here.
you'll see,
You'll see.
you'll see." And here we are, and he has seen.
Yeah. Oh, I
seen
see.
You currently see. Yeah.
Seeing.
Yeah.
Mirar in Spanish.
Nice.
Right? See.
Very nice.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But no, I like that's
Yeah.
it's so fulfilling,
Yeah.
you know. And I've said this a lot of times, but it's like when you put yourself out there and you take risks and you make these big steps and like commitments in your life, doors seem to open, right? It's like when I got married, I feel like doors open for me because it's just like when you make that commitment, more opportunity comes. And I think honestly, psychologically, you work harder
Yeah.
to like make it happen. Same thing happens when you have kids. I feel like you just psychologically know in the back of your mind, you're like, this has to work,
It has to work, yeah.
you know? And so I'm grateful for that element. I think it's pushed me to excel more than I would have in my career. But I also just, dude, I love being a dad.
Yeah,
It's
the best.
so fun. You'll see.
I'll see.
You'll see
How many
next.
kids do you have now?
7? No. I have 2. And we'll likely have a third in next year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
In advance.
Can't say anything officially, but
Yeah. Nah, being dad's a great time. I echo that, man. I've been saying the same thing for years. Like the day I got married, it just something shifted.
yeah.
You just all of a sudden said it's on me now.
Mm-hmm.
Or yeah. Won't apologize for that. And then same thing the last 6 months. I think I've never worked more efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the first month I definitely took off, but like I just feel like I've just turned up the gas more. Just because
Yeah.
like no, like I gotta make this work better.
You have to. And,
Yeah.
and I think that a lot of people think that, when you have kids and you become a dad, it's like your youth is gone. Like you're not, you have to be mature It's not true. By the way. I'm probably more immature.
Man still eats Uncrustables and goldfish.
Oh,
in
yeah,
his juice
I
box
eat like
every
a, I eat like a bird.
Just snacks all
just
day.
Snacks. Yeah.
Your
It's-
diet does kill me.
It's
It's crazy.
Hey, there's a lot of protein. Just snackable
I
protein.
mean, it's delicious.
it is really good.
Yeah,
No,
good
It's
taste.
just bite sized throughout the day.
but no, being a dad, it's like I feel like I'm proud of the balance personally that I have of where like I feel like I'm a really fun dad, you know, and like I haven't lost that youthfulness of like that I've always had, but I've been able to transfer I think that responsibility again into my career. It's caused me to work harder,
Yeah.
but I still feel like a kid every single day that I wake up, you know.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like you can't, just because you become a parent, your life isn't going to change and become super boring and mundane all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like you can be just as fun, if not more fun.
And if
than
it
you are.
is, I think it's on you guys. We're on the parent.
Yeah.
If that's how you feel.
Yeah.
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 It's a mindset.
Yeah, dude, Gus is in school.
My godson.
He's in preschool. He technically, yes. Jake is Gus's
Preschool's crazy.
godfather. Yeah, I went to parent teacher conference.
Wow.
Yeah.
Eat up the teachers.
Did I what?
Did you eat them up?
Dude, I was
I was like,
How
I was
dare you
a little
critique my kid?
overbearing. I was a little overbearing because
Gus is perfect.
do
How
you
dare
know
you?
who I am?
yeah, you've heard a full-time filmmaker, right? You know,
Parker Welbeck.
just name drop
That's always my
Parker.
next
pull
thing.
it up.
Parker Welbeck.
Yeah. No, I went to parent teacher conference and they're telling us, me and my wife were there with Gus. And,
Gus is a bully.
yeah, he's a jerk. No, he's really timid but extremely smart.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
really, really smart. And they're telling us like, yeah, he's doing good. He's doing super good in all these areas. And I'm like, okay, well, is there anything we can bring home so like he can like get ahead of everybody else? And I'm like that overbearing parent. It's like, is there any like extra material
Give
that
you
we can
something to
like
work
add?
with.
Yeah. And so it's like I don't know. It's fun to be in that position of like, because I see so much of myself in him,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you might not know it, but I was a pretty damn smart kid growing up. Like I literally skipped a grade.
Oh.
I literally went from 5th to 7th grade.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I think on a technicality, right?
No, I
Your birth date?
no,
October,
I
is
just
kind of a toss up.
toss
You,
up.
you can go up or down.
okay.
We'll call it academic
Yeah.
achievement.
Thank you so
What
much.
did
guys.
you academically succeed in? What were you smart in?
Grades?
What
Just
were you-
everything.
What subject?
Very, very smart.
All of it.
What subject?
I don't know. Math,
All of it.
English. I don't know. I got a 36 on the math section of the ACT.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. So no,
What's the
sorry.
top
This
score?
this isn't about my academia. I'm just saying like when I was younger, I was very much into that and I excelled. I think in school specifically, and so I just see that in my son. I'm like, what can we do to
Pushing that onto
Yeah.
your
get
son.
him exactly right? So it's fun to have a mini version of yourself
Yeah.
Yeah.
that you can teach and train and have fun with. So you'll see.
It's a good answer,
Oh.
Landon.
Awesome. That's great.
I agree. I feel like I used to like want me time,
Mhm.
you know? And ever since our daughter was born, if I'm not working, I don't want to be doing anything else other than just like hanging out with her.
Yeah,
you
The
know.
baby.
Sometimes I'll be like, I'll just take her and I'll just go put her to sleep. I'll just like keep holding her.
Mm-hmm.
Even though my wife's like, put her in the crib. I'm like, no, I just want to cuddle her for like 2 hours.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah, I'll just
It's
sit
the
there.
best. Yeah, I got my 2-year-old out of her bed. She was taking a nap and it was like 4 p.m. and my wife was leaving to go to the grocery store. She's like, make sure you get Penny out of her bed. It's like she needs to wake up or she's not going to go to sleep tonight. I was like, oh, okay. And I go pick her up and she is like dead asleep. I like put her on my shoulder, still asleep. I go sit on the couch. She literally slept for another 2 hours. And then
Stay in
I
heaven.
hear the garage door open. I'm like, oh, shit.
Wake.
So I'm like, Penny, wake up. I'm like, Mom's gonna be mad at me. But like, you can't help it, right? Because there's, and like, especially at 2, that's the point where they like don't sleep
Yeah,
on your
right.
chest anymore, right?
How could you give that up, man?
Yeah,
How
and
could
so
you ever wake it up?
It's hard to put into words how special that is.
Yeah, it
like
is.
genuinely. You'll see.
I'll
Nate.
see. I'll see. Yeah,
You'll see.
I'll see.
You'll see.
Right, Jake?
Yeah, you'll
What,
see.
did you notice my shoes, Jake? Just kidding. Wait, when I announced my pregnancy or my wife's pregnant, I'm gonna wear New Balances.
It's the classic dad shoe.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah,
Jean.
not gonna
cargo.
say anything.
Yeah,
I'll just
yeah,
wear
yeah.
some cargos and
Yeah,
some New Balances.
some
Cry-
jorts.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
cry
some
when that happens.
jorts.
No, we were actually talking down about this last night. Dallin had the same thought, just like being a dad just made him naturally want to work harder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And Dallin made some sacrifices to make that happen.
he did.
Got this job, just wasn't ideal for him, but he's like, no, I don't care. I just
Just gotta pay.
gotta hit these goals, and this helps me hit those goals. And so I was like, wow,
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a great episode. I
Has been a
really
good
enjoy
episode.
talking with
This
you.
has been fun.
Yeah.
I
Feels
think
like just
it's very organic, I think, with us.
that's our goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the goal. Yeah. Glad you feel that way. That'd be fun to either end on a past question with Landon or
I thought about doing
a
past.
story. Probably a pass is more relatable for
What's a
you.
pass question?
So the pass, for those who have made it to this part in our episode,
Do you know kitchen jargon?
Kitchen jargon?
Yeah. Restaurants.
Like yes, chef.
Yeah. Did
Type
they,
deal.
Did they do that at Swig?
No,
Corner. I need hands.
corner.
no, I've never heard that.
Well, Nathan.
All I know is from Gordon Ramsay. So.
Okay. So yeah.
Okay. Well, here's a pass question. So a pass question is, when they're preparing something in the kitchen, they give it to the final person to do the pass. The
The
final.
expediter.
Yes, the
Okay.
expediter.
Like
They,
the
they look
quality
at, they
control
make sure
pass.
everything's good to take out to the
That's the pass.
the client. Okay. So this
Okay.
portion of our show we call the pass. It's just kind of like the final note where we talk about just like a question that deserves a thoughtful answer. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So this one
Usually
is
Nate tries to cancel me on this question. Beware.
this one is pretty
prepared.
this one's not going to get canceled, but it's adaptable for wedding videographers and commercial videographers, anything like that. So this is the question, Landon. So if a client comes to you, excuse me, if a client comes to you and they tell you exactly how they want the final video to look like, meaning they're telling you angles, they're telling you songs, they're telling you things to cut to, is that a red flag or a green flag?
Red flag.
Why?
Because I don't want my dude. If they're saying that at the first go,
On one hand, though, it could make it a lot easier if they're telling you transitions, songs,
trust
everything.
me, dude. I have had
You're kind of following a recipe.
yes, but at the same time, if they are saying that at the get go, they're going to be overbearing. Like
When you're
99% of the
editing.
time when you're finally editing, right? It's like that meme that you've seen on Instagram of like the person like you're editing on your computer and they like reach over around you and like grab the mouse and they're like moving your hand. Like that's literally what that is. And I've had so many clients, not so many, but I've had a handful of clients like that, and it's like like right out of the gates, they have such a very specific vision for how they want that to look, and it's like after doing that a few times, you just know like it's not going to work. Like you're hiring. I think about it this way. Like if you go, if you go, I'm going to say the word doctor. This is going to, sorry guys, the inside thing. If you go to the doctor with a broken leg
Yeah.
and you're like, doctor, I broke my leg. And the doctor's like, well, what the hell do you want me to do? I'm like, what do you want me to do? And you're like, I don't know. That's why I came to you. Like, you tell me, like, what do we do? Like the same thing happens when you're a videographer and a client comes to you. Like a client is coming to you because you have a specific expertise that they don't have. So if they're coming to you and they want you to do something, like make a video, for example, like you're the expert in that. You need to be able to like actually use your expertise to create a story and create a video that actually matches what they want to accomplish. But if I went into the doctor and I'm like, hey doctor, I think you should do a shin splint and all these different things, and then he's like okay, even if that's not like the best method, it's a red flag. It's like the doctors should be like, no, actually,
Right.
I think we should do it this way. This is going to be more effective, right? So it's not to say that a client coming with specific directions on a video doesn't know more or less what they're doing, but it is clearly, for me at least, a red flag of, I think I'm going to use my own judgment on this one.
Okay. To play devil's advocate here, or maybe to kind of
No, don't do it. That was my only argument. I can't pull out
It
anything
doesn't
else.
stand on itself.
Yeah, sorry. Just call it.
no.
It's got one metaphor
I got
in the
one
bag.
point.
That's it.
That was it.
I think the difference is if you're being hired to be a creative director and producer versus being a camera operator. And if they have it planned out and they're saying, I need you to come film and edit my idea, that's a whole different
Yeah.
paycheck.
I agree with you.
Right. Which you probably charge way less for if you're just following instructions versus like, are you coming to me so that I can take your idea, figure out how it would sell, produce it, direct it, create it in a way that elevates your idea. And I think for us as well, we only want to attract clients who want that latter, who want to trust us and say, here's my idea.
Yeah.
Make it better because you're professionals. I trust you.
And
She
that-
didn't get that. You want to say that again?
So imagine a burger.
No, I was about to say, I can't wait to clip what Landon just said, because last time we had like an analogy or a metaphor. Jake was talking about, we were talking about raw footage. If you should give clients a raw footage file
or charge for it.
folder. And Jake was just like, imagine you're in a restaurant he goes
You
through
do that with your hands,
his
too.
whole story. And you know, it sounded good in the moment, and we posted it, and people just went up in arms. They're like, it's not a restaurant. The creative business is so much different because
They've never
it
heard
lives
of a
forever.
metaphor or an analogy
Yeah, they've
before.
never. So I can't wait.
That's so funny.
But no, I think to your point, you can only recognize that as a red flag if you have lived it. Because when you see that come through your pipeline, your first thought almost is like, wow, this is so easy. I don't have to do any thinking. I don't have to plan out the shots or any scenes or anything like that. This is going to be a piece of cake. And then you take the client and you realize just in the editing room how awful it actually is.
Yeah, and every client's different. You never
Yeah.
know. Maybe they'll
Yeah,
be easy.
exactly.
But I've just done it enough times where I'm like, I don't really want to take that chance.
But I remember one of Parker's first videos. Which one was it? The longboarding phone one.
Oh, yeah. Down the canyon.
He
with
said-
Alan.
Yeah.
I could be misquoting him here. Sorry if I am. But I think he made more money off the editing revisions than he did the budget.
He did.
Because and I was like, I would take that so personally. He's like, no, because it was very clear in our contract, in our outline. If you want changes or revisions or edits, I'm doing my creative job, producing it the way I see fit. If you want things after that, you're paying for that, like per hour.
He made like 20, 25
Yeah,
grand just
and
on
so they
revisions.
did. So they did. They said, and we want this, and small things too. And I'm like, I would do that so personally. Critique on that video. It's like, no, just business transaction.
Just more money for me.
Hey, I need this changed. Yep, that's $100 an hour. Okay, yep,
Yeah.
this.
It's
$100
a really good point.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I mean, if you do have a client coming in and they feel like they might be overbearing, but you really want to keep that gig, then just specify it in a contract and
And
then
I think that's
make
where
more
all
off
these
of it.
people
Yeah.
struggle in our community, especially, is people, they don't have either the know-how or the confidence or just kind of the structure in place to say, have that conversation and to weed those people out and say, are you hiring me to be a camera operator and editor, or do you want me to produce your vision for you?
Yeah.
And those should be different budgets.
They should.
And I think
Totally.
they don't. Well, you shouldn't know you don't know until
Yeah.
you
Right.
trial by error.
Yeah, I think what I've learned in running a production company and other businesses is like sales. When you think about sales, it's like to me originally, like a couple years ago, it was very intimidating. Like that topic was like, I'm so bad at sales. At the end of the day, sales is just communication. That's all
Yeah,
it
it
is.
is.
It's communicating as clearly as you
Clearly as
possibly
possible.
can and being as upfront as you
Yeah.
possibly can, like genuinely. And so if you have a client like that, just talk to them, like figure out what their goals are. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt. Like I see so many people who will run to a Facebook group first and say, hey guys, I have a client who might want this, this, and this. It's like, well, did you like talk to them yet?
Yeah.
Like just ask what they want to do. Like you can't read their minds. So
That's
just
scary
talk.
to people.
Yeah.
That is.
But it shouldn't be. It's like, yes, it's a business transaction. And it's like if the deal's gonna fall through, it was probably gonna fall through before you ever said anything to them anyway.
I think especially in our industry, it's like it's an art, so you don't want to use the word sales, but it's like, okay, well, whatever you want to call it, we are selling a product,
Totally.
a wedding video to the customer,
Yeah.
and we have to sell them on that product. So whether you have you want to make it about your beautiful branding, your website, or your social media presence, that is to sell somebody on your product.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel you. It's intimidating, but it shouldn't be. Have the conversations. Funny story in closing. I last little rant. I saw this person posted. Courtney sent us a screenshot of this group she was in, and they were a second shooter, and they posted anonymously, just completely furious that the lead shooter was posting their photos
And not like
from
tagging
the
them
wedding
or
that they
anything.
second shot.
Oh.
And
Okay.
every single comment on that thread just destroyed this person, saying, "Welcome to this industry. Like, are you new here? Like,
You were hired to provide something and you did, and they're using it.
yeah,
for what
you
they paid
showed
you
up.
For?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, doesn't-
and they deleted the post like right after. So by the time I went to go see it, it was gone.
It was
deleted.
gone. Oh,
But
that's
same
funny.
principle. Like,
Yeah.
you can blame the second shooter for having that attitude. But I'm like, also the lead shooter clearly didn't communicate something.
Yeah, totally.
Just be clear.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, good
Yeah.
pass.
That was a good pass.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's like
Thanks, I
having a
appreciate
burger.
that.
And for the record, I like the burger analogy because this is the kitchen.
I know. I think it was genius. I thought it was good.
I'm excited
I
for
have my
people
moments.
to
Yeah.
tear apart my analogy, though.
Yeah,
FTF
can't
plus.
Can't wait.
I think it's a pretty good one.
I want royalties.
Okay.
Well, Landon, you officially cashed in on your favor to come on our podcast, and we don't hold anything over
Now
you
we don't
anymore
owe
to
you.
get
now
you back
owe
on.
me.
I wouldn't say that.
No. We are now even. In fact, I think you still owe me for that one thing.
No, but the
So I
gingerbread canceled it out, so I think we're good.
I haven't had any of mine. You can
Gingerbread
take
is a
mine back.
cure-all
had-
for me.
Yeah, you will. So
Gingerbread cures debts for me.
does it? Okay. Well,
I would love another batch.
I have a
though.
lot of IOUs.
How do I purchase a whole cookie sheet's worth?
I'm being totally honest. Does she Does she give the recipe, or is she? Is this one of those things that she's like, no, I don't want people.
I don't know.
If she does,
Look at
I
how
would happily
meticulously
pay
frosted
her
they are.
money for the recipe
Yeah, I'll ask, but I won't
because
give
those
your
are
hopes up.
delicious.
They really are. And I think if anyone would be able to like do the same thing, like actually like match it, it'd probably be you in terms of like quality and
I think I
taste and
could.
everything.
But I don't have
but
Jillian's
I
touch.
can't commit
Okay.
to that.
So how do I get more of these though?
Wait, you can't commit to what?
Giving you the
Asking?
recipe.
I was about to say what? Hang on.
I'll
don't
get
let
you
this
more,
go.
Jake. That was a very small quantity compared
is
to last
amazing.
year. I think we gave you like a gallon's worth last
It's
year.
okay. We've been distant this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. We're gonna be very
Look
close.
at us coming full circle here.
It
Wow.
really is.
Delicious.
Dude, you guys have no idea how good these are to me. Best cookies. All right, Landon. Appreciate it, man.
Thank
Thanks,
you for
guys.
coming on the podcast.
You guys, we will link Full-Time Filmmaker if you're already following them and their products below. Give Landon a follow. He's always up to some amazing things. Enjoy our conversation. And we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, guys.